Planet Earth, Milky Way galaxy. Been working on a song called Chicago. It's actually going quite well. She comes from Chicago. My mama was a model. Oh, Lord, goddamn desperado. From the wrong side of Gotham. She's leaving Chicago. She's leaving Chicago.
Join Zoom for now. We can discuss all that there.
What's up? Give me a sec. Give me a sec. Yo, what's up, buddy? What's up?
What was it that you used to do? You remember that when we were
Nah.
younger? What the hell was it? Used to be like you'd go like this and you'd like raise your voice. You'd be like
No.
you go like this, man, every time, and what the hell was it that you used to say? I don't know, man.
Dude.
I don't know, man. I don't know, dude. I don't know.
Oh, it's too funny, man.
Fuck, I'm
That's
looking good
just-
today, huh? Damn.
Actually, yeah, man. You got
I
that
don't look too
Saturday.
bad, actually.
You
Quite
got that
impressed.
Saturday Clinton energy.
I think I do. Got a little
Yeah.
bit of Saturday Clintons, like Saturday morning cartoon. Remember those days, man?
Oh, well,
Back
I
in the good old
remember
days.
I remember people talking about those days. I don't really remember those days though.
Were you not one of those kids that did that? Like do you
No.
ever like remember like doing that
No,
stuff or
no. I mean, a little bit, but I felt like I think I heard more about it from my mom. Like if you think about it, like when I was a kid, similar to your mom, actually.
Mhm.
My mom was
Well, yeah,
quite
they're like the
young.
same age, aren't they?
Yeah, I
I
think they
think
are. But
pretty
they were
close
like,
anyways.
but let's just think about what age this would have been, right? Like, so we're about 1.5 year different or something. So we're
Right.
talking, what, like when you think about Saturday morning cartoons, what age do you think you were when you reflect on that?
I'm thinking like, hold on here, I gotta pause. Cloud. So I'm thinking like, gosh, do you want me to like state like when I first remember or more when I feel like I did it like most often?
No,
Because there's a difference.
uh,
Wait, what happened to your mic, bro? You got really quiet all of a sudden.
okay, am I back?
Okay, there we go.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've never been able to figure out how to use my good mics for this shit. It's so annoying. It's like every
Well,
time
most people, well, they have them pulled up
I
and
know,
they
but I'm
talk
saying
into
like
them from.
Oh, really? Is that how you use a microphone?
So,
Jesus. Oh yeah, I never
well,
thought
no,
of
but I
that.
mean, you
I
you
mean,
were
yeah,
talking
how
about it, and
silly
then
of
like
me.
you didn't have it like by your mouth, and so I don't know if you were trying to like make it work, and then like you didn't
Bro,
want like
bro.
it be in the picture. So I was getting more to the point, like it's fine just to have it up by your mouth, man. And you sound good either way, the voice carries, you know what I mean? We got men voices, so it's like you got that little bit
Yeah.
of bass to it. You know what I mean? We got
No,
the
but dude, the thing is, if I could hook up this mic, you would hear my voice like if like you've never heard it before. You'd be
Oh,
like,
I believe
"Oh
it.
shit, what the? I didn't know
I
that
know.
frequency was in there."
Have you not messed with it to hook it up for that stuff
Well, no,
yet?
but it
Or
is it is hooked up. Like I was literally just using it on a song idea, and like I can like Zoom was actually telling me I think it saw me do this, and then it was like, "Oh, if you want to set up professional audio, which is weird, but maybe it was said that to you too.
I
And then
I,
it said,
I really have been wanting to get like a nice microphone like that, or one, that's, for like strictly like your voice, not necessarily
yeah,
music, because I know they make all kinds of different ones for like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
that add different textures and all this
Yeah,
other
but they
stuff, your
all,
voice. And
yeah, but there's like the standard
well,
podcast
what
mic. Which,
well, curious though, what would you, because you do all this stuff and I've looked into them and stuff, what would you recommend? Like just for like, obviously nothing like super fancy, but nothing
no,
like
dude,
shitty, but like a mid-range one or something, one that would be
I,
decent. Do you
I
have
would
any
just,
recommendations?
in all honesty, at this point in 2025, if you get like a, I mean, what's your budget?
Um,
You can throw any
I was
number, it
think
doesn't matter.
I was thinking like, well, because I initially wanted to do it, so I'll give you a little background anyways, because I was gonna do it
Hmm.
initially for like voice acting type stuff,
Hmm.
because like the
Makes
mic I
sense.
have now, obviously I don't even have a mic. It was just like my headset mic, and I've
Yeah.
tried doing that stuff on there, and obviously it's terrible because it doesn't pick up any of like rasp or tone or any sort, when you do it. So I
Yeah.
was like looking something for more along the lines of like that would pick up all the depth and breadth of a voice and certain, undertones and things like that. But I was thinking like anywhere between like starting at like 500 up to like $1,500,
Yeah.
like top,
Yeah. I would say
if
for
it was
five,
worth it.
here's what I would say. Any good, so, okay, you have basically two types of mics that you would buy. One is a
Right.
condenser, and the
Yep.
condense, all you have to think about this, forget all the technical
Because
stuff.
I've looked into it and I don't really remember, but you have experience, and
Yeah,
to
yeah,
me,
yeah, yeah.
experience
No,
kind of
no,
outweighs the,
no, but
being like, oh yeah, this is the mic you should get type of deal when you read it.
no,
I'd
but I
rather
don't. I
just
don't
ask
like when I
somebody.
don't like when people do that, and I think like the same thing applies here as it does for music, which is
Hmm.
a lot of people think like, oh, if I get the right mic, suddenly I'm gonna be, my song will be better or whatever. Same thing with the
Right.
voice acting, whatever. Obviously, though, there is a certain standard and level of quality that would be very good, like would be good to have. Here's what I will say.
Right.
Think about it this way, because when you're looking, all you need to think about now in your brain is like when you're Googling or whatever for mics, condenser or dynamic. Right here I have a condenser mic. Now I'll make this very simple. When I use this mic, if the room around me is not silent, it will pick that up. It picks up everything. I mean, it's like it takes in all the sound. Okay. This
Okay.
But here's the flip side of this. What you were just talking about, like if you were a really, like if you were like a high-end voice actor, you would be using a condenser, because it would be like every single nuance of your voice will get picked up. It'll be like
Oh, okay.
every frequency, whatever. Here is more of like a dynamic mic, and
Look at him
these,
whipping out mics. What you got? Bro's got mics up above you too, just
and
dangling.
then
Like, here you go. No. Oh, dude, if you would have pulled one out from the top, like you pulled that second one out, and then you're like, hold on, check this one out. I'd have been like, okay, dude.
and then from the bottom, like,
Hold on. This I'm just not done yet. And then you pull up the other one with your other arm from the top on the opposite side. Hold on.
I start
Be
pulling
like,
them up with
okay.
my feet, like, oh, like I'm going.
You reach behind your back. You have one like slyly hidden somewhere,
Or
and you're
like
like, hold
a
on, check this out.
sword, dude. Have you seen this one? And then like I stand up like holstered. I also have this mic.
The fucking king of mics. Okay, though. In all
Oh,
seriousness,
but no,
though,
but
yeah,
look at this is what I just said. Here we go.
yep. So the dynamic mics, though, are those the ones that are they only
This
pick up?
Yes, these are the ones that like they don't look like this because this is for stage, but it's the exact same thing. Everybody you see on podcasts where they have like the Joe Rogan's kind of style mic,
Yeah, yeah.
that is a particular mic. You've probably already found it before, but it's a Shure whatever whatever. I can't remember which model, but
Hmm.
whatever it looks like, that's a dynamic mic. So this one is not going to pick up as much of a range, but for most purposes, it's going to get your whole voice. It
So
will
like
sound
for
good.
what, for like we podcasts and stuff, then what do we want? Like you want the dynamic one then?
Yeah, this would be fine.
Yep.
This would be great if you knew that there was going to be basically no background noise, which is also, I
Right.
mean, you can accept that, but it's
Right.
like it's overkill for that purpose. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
How much were those pretty expensive, those mics? Is that how much was that condenser one that you have? Is it a
Well,
high?
that's like a classic. I mean, that's like a standard. That one is expensive, but it's like
How much was it?
it's one of those
Like,
things that will never go down in value. You see what I'm saying?
yeah,
So it's
yeah.
like if you buy like a this is what I've been thinking like
How much did
taxes.
you pay
No,
for it?
but hold on, let me tell you
Give me
something.
the brass tacks here.
Taxes are so high in Sweden that let's no, but hold on. If you have a company, so like let's say that
Yes.
all of our music royalties when they come in, they have to be filtered in through a corporate entity, a company, right?
Yep.
And then we have to have our own company, and then basically we have to take a salary from our company. So we have to like so it's still like we have to decide how much actual income there is. And then but the company, all the extra money, like anything we don't take as salary, which when we take a salary, it gets taxed at like almost 50% because we live in Sweden. So most of the money we want to keep in the company. And the thing is, the company can buy anything related to music without like paying extra tax. So it's not like it's income to us, it's an expense.
Okay.
You see what I'm
Right.
saying? So we're
Yeah.
incentivized to like if we know that we're going to have a little left over in the company, it's better for us to spend it on something before the end of the tax
Right.
year because
Well,
otherwise
yeah. Well, that
we'd get
I see
taxed
that.
on it. You
That's
see what I
why,
mean?
that's why, people, that do, they do donations and stuff like that. I suppose it's extra money that they have, and to help not be taxed on it, right?
Yeah,
The
but no, but forget
donation
the
part of it.
donations because that's like,
No, I know. I'm just
yeah,
saying it's
you're
a way
right.
to
Yeah,
reduce your tax or
yeah,
whatever,
but yeah, but
is what I'm
no,
getting
but you're
at.
still like when you're doing donations, you actually are basically giving up that money. I'm talking about it's better to in some cases it's especially in Sweden, it's better to try to spend the money that your company is making than to at the end of the year have it suddenly taxed like, "Oh, your company had all this money left over,
Well,
now you're going to get taxed on it." So it's better to like
right.
zero it out and like, "Oh, if we have extra
Yep.
money at the end of the year, let's buy an expensive microphone or something." Like because
Sure.
we can't spend it on groceries because it's company money. You see what I mean?
Right.
So it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
so yeah, all I'm trying to say is like, I spent way more on this microphone than I would ever spend like as a private person. This was pure like tax evasion. And
How
like,
much?
because
How much was it,
I, I don't know, what is
bro? I
this?
spent 6 grand on my computer.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. That's a good point. Thank you. Thank you for saying that.
Give me a break. Like, I don't care. I'm just curious, just because I know I see you have it all the time, and I know it's
Okay,
probably
that
like
that
not a
that
cheap mic.
no, no, that makes
So,
me feel a lot better. So this right now you can buy for about $3,000.
wow, that's
Uh,
that's cool though. But yeah, that's
but
damn
the,
for a mic. That's
but you
wild.
yeah, but you know what the thing about this
That's
mic is
cool
though?
though. I love stuff like
It's
that, man.
literally made in Germany. It's one of the oldest microphone brands in existence. It's
They
found
make
in
great audio
yeah.
quality. German,
Oh,
German. Well,
dude.
what is it? What you always hear the old like phrase or whatever, like good old German engineering type of
German
deal.
engineering, yeah. Which
Yeah,
unfortunately can, wreak havoc on the world if given the chance, but it's
that's what we got the Gestapo for. So
exactly like yeah, they're very good at engineering things, but they don't know when to stop. They just keep engineering like final solutions and whatnot. So it's like you got to put a little check on them. But
well, at least
yes,
they're not like China. At least they put out quality fucking products and they just don't spit it out when it comes out and it's like, oh, it doesn't work in a week or it's just
agreed,
trash anyways and just
agreed.
refurbished from like kids' toenails or something.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, but you're not wrong. That's the thing. You're not. Yeah, as the kids say, no lie detected or whatever. I like that one.
I haven't heard that. What is
Dude, I'm a nerd for like following up on like the zeitgeist, like because I don't use the terms, but I like to know what they are.
do you just mean are you talking about that's one I haven't heard, but are you just talking about like the new language basically that's been developed by like the young
Yes.
generation? Yeah, I
Yes.
hear Cyprin say all the time. The new one yesterday, which I hadn't heard yet up until after I heard him say it, I heard a couple other people say it too, but
That's how it always is,
he
right?
was
Like you
I
hear it
was
and then you
sitting
hear it everywhere.
yeah, I was sitting around and then he's like, what did he say? He's like, that's the only motion you get. And he was like referring to like a
Oh my
woman or
God.
something. And I was like, what?
Fuck,
And I
dude,
said, what do you mean
that's like
motion?
bro. You're hearing it like you're hearing it at the like the proto stage. I'm
Dude,
just
I'm
getting the
hearing
things
it at
after
like,
they filter through like the culture a little
dude,
bit.
I hear this shit at like ground level, man.
That's crazy.
Like
You're at
it's
ground
like,
zero for this shit right now.
yeah, I was gonna say it's
Crazy.
like, what is it? Fucking, who is it to Major Tom? That's what I'm hearing it from. Is it Ground
Crazy.
Zero to Major Tom?
Yes, go on,
Bro,
go on.
that's
Bro,
all I know.
you know what's funny? One time we should do as an like just for a fun thing, but I can't promise a timeline because
Right,
I
right.
work very slowly. But you should send me like an audio sample where it's like you want me to put it into a mix. And I will like I will create a little song where whatever you send me, but I will need time. It might happen like you might
Bro,
send me
that would be hilarious.
I'm
Well,
just warning
are
you
you
though,
gonna
you
do
might
it like
send me something and then I send you
what
something
kind
back
of
5 years later. Just saying
well,
5 years
what kind
later.
of snippet do you want?
No, but I'm
Like, do
saying
you want
whatever. I'm saying you'll know when the snippet comes. And now is not the time because I'm not recording, you're not recording. I mean, I am recording this conversation, but I'm not going to go back to this and sample this. I'm saying one day, just
Ground
send me.
Zero to Major Tom? It's not Ground Zero. What is it? I know it's not Ground Zero to Major Tom because that doesn't make any sense because they're up in the air.
Ground zero. Actually, that's kind of a nice twist, though. It gives it a little bit of like a updated sci-fi twist, right? Like now it's not just now the station's been it's fucked. So now it's ground
Yep,
zero, and Major
yep.
Tom's still floating around up there, and it's like Major Tom,
Major Tom's just running around aimlessly. Guys, guys,
he's fucking Matt Lollian up there, dude.
somebody there?
No, he's
He's
Matt.
like just in a void.
Bro, he's either okay. Here's the thing: is Major Tom in this scenario Matt Lolly or Billy Fletcher?
Um, I'm think I'm thinking Billy Fletcher's in this scenario, and like
Okay,
Matt Lawley is just like in the sidelines, but he's just like peeking around, like just looking around with his beady ass eyes, being creepy. And you got like Billy Fletcher, like, guys, seriously, is anybody there?
Major Billy.
Be like,
Ground, dude,
Tom Billy, be
sing
quiet over there.
ground zero to Major Billy.
Ground Zero to Major Billy.
Now he's responding.
Seriously, guys, what are you doing out there?
Oh my
Somebody out
god!
there?
And now Matt Lolly is like
Oh,
wondering what Billy's
do
responding
you
to.
do you want to hear a Billy story?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, because I
Yeah, I
was
do.
just hanging out with Matt.
Is it a recent one or is it?
Literally last night, I heard the story,
Oh
and
my
it's
god!
recent with Billy. So he's
Post
sitting there.
post.
He said he's in Duluth at a club, like a nightclub, whatever,
Mm.
bar club. He calls it a club, and I'm assuming he was at a club because there's a difference, right? So he's like, oh, I'm at this. God, I'm just like seriously, I'm sitting there. No, I'm just kidding. But I'm actually. He was at this club in Duluth,
Yeah.
and he said he was sitting there. He was, by himself or whatever, and he went to the club. He had gotten a couple drinks or had gotten a drink, and he had went to sit down at. I don't know if he was at the bar, if he sat down somewhere in the bar, or whatever. Regardless, anyways, he went to sit down. He was sitting down for a bit, drinking his beer, and he said this random chick like walked by him and then like turned around and like turned to him, and she's like, "Do you want a blowjob?" And he's like, "Well, yeah, whatever." And so like they go outside or whatever into her pickup that she had, and she just gave him this random blowjob, and then like they finished, and she was all like, "Hey, so you're coming back, right?" And Billy's like, "Yeah, seriously, I'll probably get back there, whatever." And so he told her, "Yeah, I'm coming back, whatever." And she's like, oh, "Okay." He never got her number, never got any contact information from her, nothing. He's like, "Yeah, I'll be back." Of course, he never went back or whatever, but I don't know. So it's a little
He was
story, but it's
good.
just like a typical Billy story.
I just love the fact. Yeah, that's actually a great story. But here's the thing, Billy, like, can you believe that he like everything that he did after high school totally tracks. You know what I mean? Like it's totally expected. For instance,
Well, you know,
that he would become a Muay Thai fighter,
you know,
and
you know
have
what
his
he is,
glory days in a town called Fuck It. It was literally called Fuck It.
dude. Do you know what Billy, like, you know what Billy is to us now? He
What do you
is
mean?
he is our own personal meme.
I know. I know.
Like literally, the things Billy says and Billy does, things that Billy has done and will do, is all memes.
I know.
Like he's a walking meme, and I don't even mean it in a
No, but
bad
you know
way.
what it is? You know what it is also? It's
What?
Weens. It's Weens. He's our own
Oh shit!
walking ween, dude. He's a meme and a ween. Like I that
He's a
like
ween meme. He
to
can't.
be. To be a
Is
ween
Billy
and a
really a
yeah.
ween though? That's pretty significant. I mean, that's kind of a putting him in. I mean, a lot of things are weens,
Well,
bro.
no,
But
but fundamentally everything is weens. So I mean, what do we do about that? You know what I'm
he's a
saying? Like,
ground zero ween.
yeah, he is, and it's rare to be both ween and meme, and I don't know, man.
He's a he's
Oh,
next level
oh,
weens.
here's the thing: it's weird to be weens, memes, and not mean, except when in between the green and the spleen. You know what I'm saying? And that's
Well,
the
it
weed.
shines off the spleen from the cream queen that is lean, like so many other scenes from the dream.
So many themes. Is that what
So
you
many
said?
weens.
Did you say
No, but
themes? Like,
you did. You went off of themes. I said dreams, and then I said something about a scene, and then you played off of it, and it made sense
no, I
because you
said
described
no,
it.
but I thought you said something else. So I think I repeated your theme. But here's the thing.
Oh,
I liked that. That should go in your track. Um, no, but yeah, you should have like a
that
talking verse. Like it's weens on a
theme.
beam. It's weens on a beam by a tree. No, see, that's a near rhyme.
It's
All right,
weans on a beam by a tree through the treen on the tram. That's so
bland that it
and
opens a can.
of sand.
Oh man,
What a sham.
weens.
That was a great haiku. Great haiku there.
Memes,
Even though I
Billy.
think we missed the actual subject of the
Bro,
haiku, but it's
imagine
okay.
imagine if Billy Fletcher
Oh,
becomes
here we go.
becomes the boyfriend of Billie Eilish. Like, bro, that would be like, I think the universe would implode. I think that would be the
And
apocalypse.
it actually flows too. If she takes his last name and keeps her last name, she could be Billie Eilish Fletcher.
Or just Billy Fletcher.
Could you imagine?
Bro, and he would not even think it was weird. He would be like, yeah, that's the way it goes, man. You know what I'm saying? Like when you find your soulmate, she got the same name.
You know who would do the podcast? Or like who? Because I know you mentioned, or I know you
Billy
mentioned
Fletcher.
the
Billy
last time
Fletcher.
that you're like, dude, we seriously find somebody that would actually come on and actually talk. Billy would do it.
He would do it. I'm gonna press Alex one more time here. I'm gonna just say we're on. This is his personality. He will always respond when he knows that there's no way to possibly join. You know what I mean? Like he will like no matter what he will do the he'll probably Google like what time is it in Sweden. That's probably what
He's
he
like one of
does.
those people. He's one of those. He's like one of the. Well, he's like Michael, just like antisocial and like
Yeah.
even though like they maybe feel bad about it to some extent, it's
Nah.
like
They don't
they
feel
just
bad.
they
They
have
don't
no
feel bad.
remorse. They're like the Terminators.
Yeah. They're just
They can't
cold.
be reasoned with.
Nah, dude. That's why I'm so glad that we're doing this because it's like or actually why we've kept in touch and stuff like that is you know you need to do that, man. You got to do that. It's a good like and I try to do that with like anybody that's ever been like a good friend of mine. Despite the
Yeah,
odds, I do try to keep in touch. Like, and it's funny because but also it's easy to like get the signal that it's like you don't want to do it the way that I can do it. So for instance, like Nick Longworth, right? I still
right.
remember I tried FaceTime, not recording, nothing like this, sending a Zoom link, just FaceTime. And he was kind of like I got him on the line because I still communicate with him over Facebook and like there was times like during like the big
I honestly didn't know that you guys were like actually that good of friends.
well, I think we're like I would consider him like a yeah, but we kind of are. I mean, I
Hmm.
don't know. Like
Yeah, I
we
never
have
knew
some
that.
common elements and common stuff,
Right.
and actually he's a kind of an interesting character. like if you actually get to know that guy, he's actually just as like sort of, I guess as the kids would say, based as we are. But he just
Yeah.
has like he has just a totally different perspective on what like
I don't
why
even know
he
if they
is
say
that way.
that anymore. Cyprin, what do you guys use in replace of the word based? You know, like when somebody says you're so based, you know when like when somebody says the
Or like
term
that's
when they're
based. Like that is
like that's
based.
based.
Okay, dude. Yeah, but I can't take directions from ground zero. I mean, you got to absorb the whole zeitgeist, okay?
Well,
I'm
just
just
like, well,
saying,
I guess nobody says it anymore. I don't know.
it's something people say, and we know what it means, and it's a very useful term.
Well, what do they
It's a
say in
very.
replace of it now, Cyprin? No, it was a thing at one point. Am I just old or what?
Nah, he's just not in on the based. He's not in on the based. It's fine.
No, he needs a
Here,
good basting.
yeah. Thanksgiving is coming up,
That's why I
but
said that.
well, here's the deal. Nick Longworth is quite based, actually, but he's just got a totally different, like, weird, and like he went like after high school, he went to college to be like a journalist, you know. And the funny thing was, the whole way through college, he sold weed so that he didn't have any student loan debt. So he basically graduated from St. Cloud University with no debt because he sold weed. Okay. And then after that, I would go to his place because I didn't hang out with him. Like I had years where I didn't hang out with him also. And then I went down there after like high school and he got a place in Minneapolis. And I went down there a few times, blah, blah, blah. And one of the first times I went down there, I was still with Greta. So it must have been 20, no, sorry, 20, yeah, 2010 maybe? 20, because we graduated in '08. So it's probably 2010. And I'm talking to him about it. And I know this whole story about how he got through college without debt, and all of a sudden and we're talking about like whatever we marijuana laws and whatever, and he's like yeah, he had this whole perspective where it was like some kid got busted recently in the news for like having marijuana on college campus or whatever, and he was like, yeah, throw the book at him, you know. And I was like, what are you talking about, dude? And all of a sudden, like in this argument, he was just completely pro like drug laws and stuff. And I was just like, but dude, you got through college with selling weed. And he was like, yeah, but I was smart about it and blah blah blah. And I was like, yeah, but in principle, why would you it doesn't make any sense. Like you benefited from, I mean, like what, and it was just, and I was kind of, it was interesting. It was like an interesting
Yeah,
conversation.
but now after you telling me that he's based now
Yeah, but
makes me
that's
realize
not,
that that is not based.
I know that is not based,
That's
but he is
that's
more, he's
terrible
way
and
more,
hypocritical.
no, but I'm
You know what
saying,
it
but
is? It's probably the left in them, probably a little
but
bit liberal,
well,
progressive.
that's what well, yeah, but it's like he took a position
They're
that I
like
don't,
that though.
but hold on. And that's true. And at a certain
They
point in
are.
my,
They're very hypocritical like that. But anyways, yeah, go on.
yes, but there was a point in my childhood where I remember the right being like that as well, where it was like they were the most anti-gay, and at the same time, like all these Republican senators were being caught in restrooms at airports with like dudes sucking their dicks. It was like very hypocritical there too. And I'm just saying that like I remember, like I think things have switched. So I think like the right are the liberals and the left are the authoritarians now. And I think like when we were younger, there was a
Hmm.
time when the right was authoritarian and the left was liberal. But now the left is
Yeah.
authoritarian. Like they're the fascists, and the right is basically like the freedom of speech and blah blah blah. So basically they just switch sides on the issue of uh
Huh?
that's partly how I look at it. It's more nuanced
Well,
than
no,
that.
no, I get what you're saying. I was gonna stop you and interrupt you because I wasn't agreeing with what you're saying then, but I let you continue, and I'm like, oh yeah, once you finish out or once you got where whatever. So I was like, oh, but
Well, and I think that's
yeah,
also why like
that is weirdly well, you know, I think you're right, like to some extent, but I also think that because I mean, when you talk about that stuff, and I'm not big into politics and things like that, I know like
Yeah.
the basis of it and stuff. I follow it here and there. But I think now though, I think for the most part, like what you said, yeah, certain view like when they talk about political shit, right? It gets into like pro-life and you know, um, like the death penalty and all this other stuff, and like there's
Yeah.
certain like
Yeah,
things,
there are
right? That
certain
it's like,
dividing
okay, if you're
lines. Yeah.
pro-life or if you're not, then you're
Yeah.
this or you're that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
with those
Yeah, that is
and
still
but
consistent. A lot of that is still
yeah,
consistent. Yeah, exactly.
but
That's a good
but
point.
like what you said, like yeah, with the views and stuff like that, like the smaller things that kind of go
Oh, sorry,
unnoticed.
sorry, Clinton, just to interrupt you, but
Yeah,
like it's also just about how you're allowed to express views. Like what I'm trying to say is like, yes, you're exactly right, and
yeah,
I'm glad you said that. It's like there are certain dividing lines that haven't changed since we were
right,
young. Like when Dean and Deborah were watching Fox News, they were pro-life then and they're pro-life now, right? Okay,
right,
yeah, yes,
yeah,
that's a good example. But the left was when I was young, the left was where I was looking, where I wanted to see people that were challenging the establishment, that were saying things that weren't like it was like free speech, like the ACLU is
right.
considered left leaning, and they used to go out and they used to send lawyers
All
to
right,
protect.
before I lose this stock, 'cause this is gonna
Yeah, go
just
ahead,
get
go ahead.
my final
Yeah,
point. It
please,
was
please, please,
what I was
please.
gonna say now is like, yes, you're right, but I think now with all that with like all that's going on and what's being said, I think it's more along the lines of like everybody's still left or right, right? But it's like the extremism part of it. Like a lot more people are like either really radically left, like now, whereas the right, like you don't see like a radical.
You're casually right or you're radically left, let's say.
Yeah, and it's how it
Casual
kind of
right,
seems,
radical left.
how it kind of seems right now. Like even in my opinion, like Trump, you could probably consider him like he votes conservative, whatever. He's a bit of a radical on the right. I don't necessarily agree with everything,
Yeah.
but casually speaking, like we put it casually, for the most part, yeah, I do. But yeah,
Yeah.
it seems like
Yeah.
the left now has really are really radical, and extreme in a lot of cases, and like and you see it, you do see it a lot, like in the news, like with like like when things aren't going the conservatives or going the right way for the Republicans, right?
Yeah.
They're not necessarily going out and killing people and doing all these crazy things, whereas you got a lot of these people who are on the left who represent this woke culture, this LGBTQ community and all the stuff that's associated with that, which is all very radical, but that's like all you see. Like that's all they're doing is going out and they're looting, killing ICE agents, killing politicians like Charlie Kirk, things like
Well,
that. And it's like,
Charlie Kirk is more like of a conservative influencer, but yes,
well, that's
still.
that's what I meant, but yeah, I just couldn't think of the word, but yeah,
No, 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 yeah.
um,
But I
but
get you.
yeah, so things like that, but you don't, and then some of them even celebrating it and being happy about it, and it's like you didn't see any, you might have saw Republicans, say when George Floyd died, right? You may have saw them, you never saw them congratulate. At least I never did. I'm sure there were people out there, but like when I looked at it, right, I wasn't seeing people typing in comments, "Oh boy, I'm glad he's dead." It was more along the lines of, well, he was a drug addict, he was this, he was that, yada yada yada. So they were still
Yeah.
bashing him, but they weren't like sitting there celebrating about something, as opposed to what the left is doing with somebody who is of high standard in terms of like being an influential figure, for a young America. So I don't know.
No,
It's
but that's
all that stuff gets really fluffed, and then again, yeah, I don't know. It's weird. It's just really weird out there. You have a lot of radical things going on. Honestly, probably on both spectrums, but from what I see all over now, it's really the left that's kind of like digging themselves a hole and just it just looks bad, I
no,
guess.
I agree.
I don't
I
know.
agree, but no, I do agree. Uh, but I don't know, man. It kind of seems like I mean, as much as I sort of have this like feeling of I do have a sort of civil war energy going on, but I also wonder like how much of that is just amplified by social media weirdness. Like,
Well,
what? Well,
that
one of the thing I just got to say one thing. The thing
yep,
that I've thought about recently is like every time something has ever happened in history, like if you saw JFK getting assassinated in the 60s,
Martin Luther King.
yeah, Martin Luther King, whatever. But if you literally had social media back then, I think you would probably see a lot of people on any side. Like, there's always going to be maniacs out there who are going to celebrate somebody being killed. That's the one thing I have to kind of remind
Yeah.
myself.
Well,
Like
yeah,
we
but
just
the issue
we're
the
seeing
issue
we're
I
seeing
still
more
have
of
with
it.
that though is
Yeah.
yeah, we see more of it. But the issue I still have with that though, like, and I'm just comparing it to the George Floyd thing. Granted, it's different because he wasn't some figure, yada yada yada. But it's like there's a lot of people who were celebrating this death of an influential figure. Like I'm sure back in the
Yeah.
day, and but uh, it's just like it's
Yeah,
not
you
like a
wouldn't
few it's
think.
not like a
But
few select people like you said where it's like, oh, you have your few maniacs. I mean, it's a majority. It's like a majority like of them. It's not just
well,
like one small sector, in my opinion. There's a
no,
lot of them
no,
that
no,
do
no.
that.
Here's the thing. I have the same problem you do. Like I did a whole
Okay.
like little thing about this, but I'm just trying to think like in you know in if you really try to zoom out,
Right.
it is also like no matter what you do, you can't avoid the fact that you are still collecting a sample, because actually like if you really think about it, most people you interact with, if you ask them if they even have a TikTok account, they're gonna say no. Like there's a lot of people that don't even have an account to watch TikTok.
You're
And then
right.
that's one level. And then you have a whole nother level of people that are actually gonna go up and like put a video up. That's a whole nother
Yeah.
level. So basically, no matter what, anything you see on social media is going to be a sample of a sample
Yeah.
of a sample
Well,
of the
yeah.
population.
Well, a good example of that though is like the people that don't
Oh, you
care as
mean
much.
a good example?
No.
Get it? Sample?
So yeah, a
Good.
good
Please
dad
go
joke
ahead.
there. Anyways,
Oh, well.
but yeah, so
A good
a good
example of that.
example was like for instance uh so when you're online, right, and you're looking at like certain like health conditions, or like you're gonna go take quiet, you're gonna go take a new medication or something, and you see all these horror stories of all these people who are like, oh, this happened to me. It's really bad. Don't take it. I had really nasty side effects, yada, yada, yada. They're posting it because they're the ones that have the really bad side effects. So that's a lot of what you're going to see. You're not going to see the people posting who didn't necessarily have anything go wrong. And that's probably the majority of people. You're only going to see that small sample, that snippet of people who have had those experiences because it was bad enough where it's like, oh, I got to go post this. Whereas if you're fine, you're not going to go online and be like, oh yeah, no, it was great. And like, yeah, some people be like, oh no, you'll see it here and there, but majority of people you see saying that shit are the ones who have those bad experiences, which make that drug or that medication, you know look like it's worse than what it really is, type of deal. So
Yeah, that's a good
in
point.
saying that, the people that are online and posting that and celebrating that, like you said, it's that small sample, but the ones that feel really strongly about that and those things that you see are those people who are radical, who are, and you are seeing that, because the ones that don't care either aren't following it, they don't care, or they don't feel that way, and they're not posting it because they don't feel that extreme about it. So
Yeah.
that majority that you're not seeing is probably, you know, equal to or more than the majority that is celebrating it, because you're not
Yeah.
actually seeing it because they don't care enough to have to make a video or comment on it or this or that or what have you. So yeah.
And even if they did care enough to make a video, in theory, it's like, what are they going to do? Create an account just to make some video commenting on this? I mean, it's like the barrier to entry for most people is extremely high.
And I think also though, even some people probably do it for some sort of shock factor to get
Exactly.
viewers or
That's a
for
great
this or
point.
for that.
Great point.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, if I do this, and I think that was a lot of them, whether or not they felt that way or not, which I mean, to do that just for that, to chase that dragon, so to speak, is like a little pathetic, but you know, like if you want to put a celebratory thing on, go for it. But You know,
No,
if you want to post a video specifically stating, you know, okay, you're adding shock value to your thing, whatever.
I mean, but the devotion just can't compete it. I mean,
no, I think that's I think very well stated. Um,
that's
uh, I was slightly distracted because Alex Gilbertson wrote me back, and I kind of wanted to have him join in, but then he said, "Just got to work," so. But
You should be like, yeah, bro, what work? You mean you're sitting at home right now because you're too shy to join us? Clinton said, get your ass on here.
you know what's funny is he
But
probably is working because he's one of these guys that like when he moved down to Arizona, apparently he took like with the way he worked his way to actually having money was that he took every shift that nobody else ever wanted to take. And he's probably that he is that guy that will like work Saturdays and Sundays and holidays, you know.
well, yeah, but didn't you tell me too that he had some dude's car that he was supposed to like he
Yeah.
only borrowed it and he took it to Arizona and then like never gave it back to the dude
Yeah, I
or
think it
paid
was
him for it?
I think it was Travis Larson. Yeah.
What the fuck? That's shady. I don't care what anybody says. That's a little shady, man. Come on, Alex, you're better than
Yeah,
that.
no,
Well,
but it
maybe
is.
not,
It
but
is. He's a bit of a hustler, dude. I mean, you know, I mean that's a little bit criminal. Like that's more of like bandit style.
if
But yeah,
we ever get him on to talk with us in video chat or whatever, we've got to be like, or the first thing I'm gonna say is, "Oh, what's up, hustler? What you doing, boy?" Because he'll never pick up on it, but we'll know, and then I'll eventually be like, and I'll just keep throwing it out there here and there, and either until he's finally like, "What?" and then I'll just like
oh my
say it,
God,
or I'll,
you nailed him. You nailed the impression of Alex Gilbertson. That's a
did
great
I?
impression.
I
Yeah, dude,
haven't
that's
seen him in
exact.
forever, but
No, but that's exactly what he'll do. He will do that no matter what. Like no matter what, he will do that. It may not be the first thing he
what do
does.
you mean? What do you?
He will do that. Oh my God. Dude, I gotta give you an update. Remember I told you that Kate Hanish wrote me? You know, this chick that
Oh no! Did you message her back too?
no,
And
I
then you
never
had to.
no, I never
Okay.
did, but I had this like thing where I was like and I told Spress about this, but there was like one night where I was looking through messages. I was probably messaging you or something on Facebook because that's where she reached out to me and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And I saw that and I was just like, huh, you know, and I just randomly was like I clicked on her profile and she posted this thing. And here's the thing. I want to be very clear. I'm not
Okay.
reading this to you as like a way of mocking her or anything. It was more of like a
Right.
confirmation of like how you can almost reverse engineer because this is something me and Espressa talked about when she wrote. It was like you can almost imagine how she was like how she grew up. Because the one thing I did know is that she didn't like similar to us. She didn't really have a dad in her life, and in
Right.
girls that can manifest differently and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
That's all I knew. And so I knew
Hmm.
that there might be some disturbed like she was projecting things onto me, you know, blah 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 about my shadow and like something I apparently
Right.
did when we were
Right.
kids, which
Yeah, I
whatever
could
that
see
is.
that.
Yeah,
Yep.
but then this kind of show like so. First of all, this enhances like one's compassion for why she wrote me or whatever. But it also is interesting how you can kind of almost predict this. So I'm just saying like I'm not reading this as a way of like going ha ha because it's really fucked up. But so she writes on September 13th, and it was literally like 2 days or maybe one day before I was like, oh, I'm gonna click on her profile after you know thinking about these messages, which she wrote me like a couple months ago. Here's what it says. This is what she wrote. Trigger warning. The following text contains descriptions of child abuse and violence. Chris Hodgson Hanish, which I assume is her mom. You watched as your husband straddled me, pinned my arms to the floor with his knees, grabbed the sides of my head in fistfuls of hair, and smashed the back of my skull into the concrete until I blacked out. The last thing I remember was you screaming at me, "Look at what you're making him do! You're killing me!" I was a child then, 11, the same age my daughter is now. I see how small she is, how small I was. It doesn't surprise me that you still imagine yourself the victim. You have my address, my phone number, my email. You could have contacted me privately, directly, or through a therapist. You never did. When I messaged you to explain how manipulative it is to make public posts while refusing to communicate directly, and recounted the abuse you must take responsibility for if we are ever to have a relationship, you blocked me. Now you write public posts claiming I'm attacking you. You post passive aggressive captions under Christian memes. You write with the intention to harm and provoke while hiding it under a mask of religiosity. There is no conversation when you refuse to take responsibility for the damage your actions caused. There is no conversation when your perspective is limited to selfish, immature self victimization. There is no conversation when your perspective shows no empathy for mine. Why would I care about your perspective when your perspective is that I deserved abuse? Healing can never take place in the toxic cycles you've created, escalated, and refused to stop repeating. Either communicate with me directly and authentically, ideally with a family therapist to mediate, or leave me alone. If you continue to post these things, I will have no option but to respond publicly as well.
Boy, somebody really starving for attention. Is that too soon? But
Well,
God,
maybe, but actually, it's interesting because the one thing I never did seeing that, because obviously that sounds horrible, right? Like, if that's true, and the question is like, this ex-husband who bashed her head into the concrete, was that her dad, and she's so detached, like, that she doesn't consider him a dad, or
I
was that
feel
like
it
a
was either. I think it
stepdad?
was a. I'm guessing it was like a stepdad or a mom's boyfriend type of deal.
Yeah. So, but the only thing I never did, which is so weird now that I'm telling you this, is I never actually read because she did a screenshot of the mom's post that triggered this. And the mom's post, now like this will be the first time I've read it, so let's see what you think about this. The mom's post that Kate found so offensive and that was some subtle jab at her. Let's see what it was. Chris says, there are times you have to use the only thing you see as possible to reach someone, and sometimes it has to be social media. Not because you want it out there for everyone, but because direct contact is impossible and it's the only means you have. Healing can't take place without conversations, but all sides must be heard. Perspective does not equal reality.
Is this was this okay? So that was the initial post that Kate responded to.
That was the post that Kate screenshotted and then wrote this whole diatribe about. Yeah.
Okay, well,
It sounded very
un,
reasonable and it didn't sound
right,
like an attack.
right. Unfortunately for Kate, being that I don't know much about her, and all I know is she's like on some weird psychedelic journey.
Yeah.
Her her whole rant doesn't carry much weight, especially when the initial post specifically stated like what was it?
It
Reality.
says it says perspective does not equal reality, which is fair.
Yeah, that is
Very
very
fair.
fair because what Kate might be saying, which like I already said before, which was more of a joke than anything. Somebody starving for attention. Kate was, I remember her being very much like that, and I remember girls not liking her because she was very much like always wanting some sort of attention,
Interesting.
in some way. So with that being
Interesting.
said, um, when you don't know, you don't know, but
Yeah.
um, both are kind of a graphic thing. So it depending on obviously that initial post that woman put. Was that her? Is that her? Who was that
I
post?
guess
Is
I
it her?
guess that's I guess that's her mom.
Okay, so yeah. With that being said,
But then again,
um,
Kate implies, sorry to interrupt. Please hold your, like, try to remember it. Kate implies in her response to this otherwise seemingly blasé post, she makes it seem like that her mom has been posting other things up to this point and this is like a boiling point. To be
or
fair.
maybe Kate is just being overly paranoid
Yeah,
and
exactly.
taking everything so
Exactly.
personal, and
Including with
her
me, somebody that
and
she's like she just saw a random
yeah,
post
I
from.
remember. Yeah, that's right. The shit she said to you, and it's like,
That's what
what
I'm
are you
saying.
on? So
No.
her credibility is zero.
Yeah.
Like
At least from our perspective, yeah.
yeah, if there's any amount of credibility to her from as we know her, especially with the shit she said to you when it wasn't even like, she has a very warped perception of what I think, what reality actually is,
Yeah, which is
of
kind of
things that
sad.
happen.
But here's the thing:
Well,
if
that's
if
why they say don't do drugs, kids.
but
I mean, hey,
also,
I'm not against them, but
but here's the
there's some
thing, Clinton.
people who take it
Here's
too
the
far,
thing.
man.
Here's the thing. I agree, but chicken and the egg, right? What came first? The mental illness or the abuse? Because if that thing
Mm.
that she says in the beginning is true, like she might be paranoid about what her mom is saying, but she describes a very graphic and vivid scene. And
Yeah, she does.
if she really did have her head slammed on the concrete while her mom was unsympathetic or blaming her for it in that moment, it could be that she actually got literal, I mean, I'm talking literal brain damage.
Sure,
You
but
know?
also here's this, and this is very blunt,
Yeah,
and
that's fine. That's fine.
but I mean, if that actually happened and she did get a concussion and all that happened, you're
Yeah.
not going to remember anything. You're not going to remember all that graphic detail. It's not
Well,
going to be that
no,
specific.
no, that's not true. Hold on, think about it.
I
There's
mean,
people. No, hold on. There's people all
no,
the
no, that's
time
why I
that are
said it's
like,
going to
I
be
got hit.
blunt. I wasn't saying it's
No,
truth
but
be told. I'm just saying, like, come on.
no,
I
I
mean,
know, but you stated it like it was kind of a fact, and all I'm gonna say as a
true
rebuttal to
enough.
that is like
Fair enough.
when people are like, oh, they described the moment where they got hit by a bus and then they got like lights out or whatever. Like time
Sure.
slows down when you're in a survival situation. Her adrenaline was pumping. It's very
Right.
likely that she like the thing is,
Okay.
let's just
Here's the thing.
assume let's assume what
I'll,
she's saying is true. Let's assume that.
I'll assume what she's saying is true. I'll also say that she's exaggerating and fabricating a few things because even I do that with certain things, and I tell a story. I will exaggerate things and fabricate it to make it sound
Uh,
worse or better or whatever, just to make it more interesting or more, to get more sympathy or whatever. I've never actually gone that route with the sympathy thing, but I think that's more of a woman thing. But I mean, come on, you and I both well know that with women, they sure as hell think that they never do anything wrong half the time. And unless you have proof to look back on it, it's like, well, I mean, yeah, I did this, but you also did this. And it's like, no, 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 no. It was all you. And it's like, well, so I mean, things to
no,
be
no,
said
no.
about that, but that's being pretty what's the word? Uh uh I don't know. I'm
Yeah,
retarded. Um
callous,
yeah,
kind of.
that's good enough. That'll work, yeah. That's being pretty, that's a good word for it. I was thinking of something completely different, but that will fit the theme.
Yeah,
Actually, maybe
yeah.
even more so better. So yeah, that's being real callous. But I'm just saying, like, and this is coming from my perspective, right? Because I've gotten in nasty fights with Cypern's mom back in the day, and we would get in fights and stuff. And I'm the one that got in trouble and got my domestic assault charges. And it's like charges I should never have, that I never should have had, from 12 years ago. So when I hear stories from women like that, I have a bit of a bias towards like, well, I mean, what, how did it, how does it escalate to that? I mean,
Yeah.
she could have been doing something like, granted, she's only 11. Sure, what can you do to a grown man? But at the same time, it's like, what are you doing to provoke somebody to get to that point as well? Not to say
Well,
that, what he's not justifying what he's doing is good, because I would never do that to, a younger child that age or anything like that. So yeah, that's really bad, but at the same time, it's like, I
I
mean,
mean, I
there's
can't
two
really.
sides.
I would imagine you probably wouldn't do that to anybody,
Yeah,
really. I mean,
yeah, there's two
because it's
sides that.
like winning. Like, let's say that even if you were fighting somebody that was an equal size and strength to you, I
Mhm.
mean, you would also have to be psychotic. Even, I mean, I'm not saying psychotic, but at least like.
I've been in fights before, and not
But I'm
once
saying,
did it ever cross my mind to bash their head into the ground and knock them out. So
well,
I mean, if
that's what I'm
that's
saying.
pretty extreme.
So I'm saying like even no matter what she did or whatever, it's like
Yeah, I mean
the
that doesn't matter.
the principle of bashing somebody's head in, even if they're equal, even if they are equal strength, equal whatever. Like
Yeah, that's still psychotic. Yeah,
they're
sorry,
down. So
I'm a little.
Guys talking about.
Always gotta have the peanut gallery here at home.
No, but it's more like
a girl from high school. Cole's friends with her on Facebook. I'm gonna make an extremely long story very short.
Basically, I'd love to hear this.
Basically, she's ready for it. He's like, how is he gonna frame this?
I can see it.
So some chick from high school that we used to know, or that he knows.
She was in my graduating class from the time we were tiny kids, like from the earliest.
Yeah, so
point,
he's known her for a long time. I just knew her in high school. Anyways.
But I don't really know her after high school. You know, it's like
he's been in contact with her like over the years, off and on, very little, and
casually. Yeah.
Just recently, she had sent him a message about something, and she was like, something Cole posted, and she messaged him saying, "Oh, something about like, oh, we all have our shadows or our dark side," and she's like trying to portray, because Cole made like a little YouTube for his kid where he's reading her stories, and in his post or whatever he wrote on one of his Facebook posts, you know, whatever. I know a lot of like the kid stuff is weird, whatever. I want to keep it normal, okay? And so he posts that, and then she responded in a message about that post just recently out of nowhere, and he hasn't talked to her in like so many years. And then she just made a post on her Facebook about her mom or something, and how she was abused as a child, and she had her head smashed into the ground by like whether it was her stepdad or her boyfriend or whatever. And she was responding to a post that her mom had made about like what really happened from the perception of reality as opposed to what she's saying or thinking. So him and I are like bantering back and forth between like.
But ask your mom if she knows Chris Hanish. She probably
Do you know
does.
Chris Hanish?
No.
Oh, okay.
I know the last name. I graduated with a girl named Sarah Hanish, but she didn't. She moved away here years and years ago. I don't think she had any kids that went to school with you guys. But it's probably a relation.
Yeah,
probably.
It's an unusual name, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. But now Kate Hanish's name, because of this trauma.
Oh yeah, listen. Here's Kate Hanish's name. Say it, Cole. So my mom will hear you.
Shia Kavala.
She's on a spiritual journey right now. So.
Spiritual journey to Cuckoo Land.
Pretty much.
There's a very based view. If you want to talk about based,
it's very based. It's very based.
Oh, I'm from the 80s, man.
I know.
Yeah, the 80s were based. The 80s were based.
There's no gray area. You're either fucking nuts or you're not.
Yeah, that's very based.
No, which isn't a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing.
Cole and I are both very much like that. But I was just saying, like, I was just pointing out because Cole was on this.
Who wants to live in the gray area?
Cole was on this, like,
I agree.
Cole's on this, like, based kick now. He has been for a while.
I'm not on a fucking kick. God damn it, Clinton.
But
you know what? When you live in the gray area, there's never an answer to anything. It's all anything. There's no truth in it either.
It's wishy-washy. Yeah.
That's right.
The wishy-washy gray area. Another base statement. You heard it here first by Cole Randall.
By the owl and the. We haven't figured it out yet.
No, I've actually figured it out.
By the dog.
I asked AI about it. I asked AI about it.
Dude, why don't we just invite your mom to the Zoom call?
By the way.
Oh, tell her bye. No, but why can't we just send? Why can't we just send the Zoom?
Sentinel.
Why can't we send the Zoom link to her? Get her on this like properly.
Bro, we should one night.
No, but we absolutely should.
She has all sorts of opinions, I promise. Dude. Well, she's always in here trying to ask us. So I'm saying, man, we got to start like doing these live, man. People are gonna be like, that's what I'm saying. But no, I came up with the name System Sentinel. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like something you would come up with, but you know,
I had the help of AI.
where's the irony in that? You know, it's got to have some like inside joke. Well, actually, the owl doesn't at all. You're
Yeah,
right.
yeah. I was trying to think of terms of like professional, but like edgy, something that represents me,
I
but
actually
doesn't.
don't mind it. Like if I really reflect on it, I need like a few days to think about it. But the thing is,
There's a bunch
I
of
don't
other
mind
that
it.
was like I literally I just went to AI and I was like, hey, I need like an I did I literally just did it before I told you I got a name, so I didn't take a lot of time, so that's why I'm like still kind of like iffy about it because I can
Yeah.
do better, I feel like. But at the time I was like, hey, I need a name for like you know uh I need a list of like usernames for a to represent myself for like a podcast or like some sort of alias or something like that. I said I want it to represent me, philosophy, theology, and deep thinking, yada yada yada. And so then she spit out a bunch of different shit or whatever, and I
Well,
just
hey,
scrolled
hey,
through the
hey,
list.
hey. How about this? How about this? Okay, how about just the Sentinel?
I'm just. I mean, I can't.
But then we have to think about the Sentinel though, because
Or what about
Sentinel.
what about just Sentinel?
Well, see, I was thinking, no, this is what I thought, because there were a
Okay.
lot of them where I could have put just the in there, but then I was like, what if I told Cole and it was just like the Sentinel, or it was just
No, no, no.
this, then he's gonna think I'm trying to copy him.
No, no, no,
So I
no, no.
didn't
I
know
don't
if
care
you
about
wanted
that.
to have like similar pseudonyms,
No, I
or
just
if you
thought,
weren't.
bro, I just thought that the Owl 2 was too much.
Fair enough. So okay, I'll go back to the drawing
the is
board.
great. The is fine.
Okay, I'll leave the in there because then it kind of goes hand in hand with,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
makes sense. But I didn't know if you wanted to go that route or not. So I was thinking
Well,
about
that's
like,
why if you look back, I suggested like the peacock. That was a the.
oh yeah, yeah. Well, wasn't thinking along those lines, and I was like, well, I don't want Cole to be like, oh, so you went with the
Nah,
yada yada, and
nah. That
so
would be
because
me being like a
I was trying
fucking
to
bitch.
respect you and your whole thought
Nah,
process,
nah.
because I
That would
know
be,
the owl thing for you is
bro,
like
bro.
very
That would
what.
be just that would be like the most extreme version of narcissistic, autistic, whatever you want to call it.
I
There's
know,
no
but like I'm like that though. Like I try to think like that
no, but
when it comes to
here's
other
the thing.
people.
I
So
do too, bro. Can I tell you something?
okay, yeah.
So, and this is again
You and
like
I
this,
overthink everything. That's me overthinking that, by the way.
but also
But
this is
anyway,
I get you, but this is why we can't go live on this kind of conversation because like there's people that will watch that know us. Like right now I'm recording it for the archives and we can get clips out of this and we could even
right.
post it, but like things where we're saying like, oh, Billy
So
Fletcher and blah blah blah.
let's get into
No, but
this.
hold on. But when I say like,
Okay.
oh, Billy Fletcher and Matt Lawley, I don't think it's right for us to like throw their names out like that, where it's like forever in the. I mean,
Oh my
it
gosh,
just.
super quick story.
Oh, please.
We're just, by the way, Cole and I are just gonna get you in on one of these because you're always in here when we're doing this. Okay.
Okay, so listen to this shit. So I'm watching a video, the Clint's Reptiles one,
The what?
The Clint's Reptiles one, the reptile
Oh,
guy.
this is okay.
So she's
You're gonna have to give Cole backstory then.
it's just a reptile guy that I watch. He has all these different reptiles.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
he was
Yeah.
bit, so but he's interviewing this girl on his show. She's a young lady, whatever. She looks to be around 30, whatever. Anyway, she works at this reptile place and the kids can come and do tours and see all the reptiles and whatever. And they have an alligator there. So they were having a birthday party later that day. So she's like, well, we'll wait to feed the gator and so the kids can see me feed the gator. And she's like, you never touched the side of their face. Where? So she accidentally, when she was trying to do something, touched his face, and he freaking, all the kids are watching. He pulls her in he grabs her hand. She had to get in the pool. He's got her, he's doing death rolls. So some guy that doesn't know anything about gators jumps in there and it jumps on its back because that's what she tells him to do. So they're like wrestling this gator with all these kids. And I don't know. I just thought it was funny. And you know what the gator's name was? Darth Gator.
What's what the hell?
Okay. Jesus.
I like that story.
Appreciate that.
That's a good one. That was a good kicker at the end there.
Yeah, that's a good one. Thank you, Jenny. That's actually.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to take a look
So all
at
you
that.
gotta do is Google Darth Gator whatever. The girl.
So you can watch the video where a bunch of kids are supposed to watch. Oh, we're just gonna feed the gator,
Yeah.
and ends up damn near feeding the whole lady to the gator. Somebody's got to jump in and save her.
Well,
Bro, you just dropped bars. You just said
Did
like
I?
to the gator, jumped in and saved her. It was like, yeah, you were just
Oh,
laying
shit.
up.
I didn't even realize it, man. That's
You want
wild.
me to write a song, Cole, about Darth Gator?
No. Wait, Clinton. I just told Clinton he's got to send me some lines where he's just like he's got to send them specifically where he just does a little song, some spoken word, and then I'm gonna put it to a beat, and then I'm gonna
Yeah.
send it back to him. But it could
But
take 5
not
years.
till like 5 years.
Yeah.
It could be something like
Because
that.
he's like, yeah, you need to do that because I want to do like a snippet, but it's gonna probably be like 5 years because I work really slow. And I was like, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway. Here's my story.
Well, thank you, Jenny. That was actually a good story. And I just Googled Darth Gator, so I'm going to see it eventually.
Yeah,
look-
there you go. Yeah, he's got the kid's birthday party. Yeah, and the kids are watching this freaking gator death roll this chick.
Damn.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I do
Well,
got it. I got Darth
Birthday
Gator.
party gone wrong.
Oh, bro,
What?
this is so weird.
What?
Oh my God, what are the odds? So I typed in Darth Gator, and then it says on Google, like, people also ask, is Anakin Darth Gator? And then it says, what was Hitler's alligator's name? And then it says, is a gator more aggressive than a crocodile? And then it says, what is Gator's real name? Those are the top 4 suggested Google searches based on if I just type in Darth Gator. Do you get the same thing?
No.
I would be curious, but whatever.
You want me to do it right now? I can do it quick.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious. Yeah.
All right, on Google.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not on my computer. Did my video go away?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, all right. Darth Gator. Come on, what is going on with my phone? right, where do I view
why
the
did your
top
video go
results?
away? Why did your video
Because
go away?
I'm on my phone, and so I left the Zoom thing.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah, if I was on my computer, obviously that'd be a different story.
No, no worries.
Where do I see that at?
No, but you just scroll down like after the first result, or even on the phone. Maybe it's the first few results, and then it will say.
Oh, are you just saying?
People, it'll say people also ask, and then you can.
Oh
expand.
yeah. Let me find that. I see it sometimes. Oh, right here. I've got dive deeper into Darth Gator. I don't see the people ask portion on my phone here.
Okay, can I? I'm gonna send you a screenshot just for fun.
Yeah, do that, and then I'll be able to know what you're talking. I'll be able to figure it out.
Well, no, but it's not even about figuring it out. Maybe it's also about like how the
Because I've seen
AI
it before, but maybe I can jump. I mean, I can jump on my computer. I don't.
No, but what I'm saying is like maybe this just shows you how the AI is like so custom.
Yeah, I know. I know what you're talking about because I've seen that, but it's not pulling up on my thing, and I'm thinking I see it on my computer when I search.
Probably.
So I'm jumping on my PC right now to see my 6,000. Actually, I've actually my total PC setup. I've spent along with with if I include like the 2 monitors that I have that I will be using. Yeah. Cypern's using one right now, but like between my 2 monitors and like my keyboard, my mouse, and my chair, and my computer and everything, it's like almost a $12,000 setup.
Holy shit. That's intense.
I'm hardcore about that stuff, but I love my technology, so I spend money stupidly.
I get that.
Well, this is how I think of it, and I don't know. Maybe that you've gotten older now. I still have the same mind. Well, I shouldn't say same mindset, but it's like money is money. The more money you have, the more you spend.
Yes.
And so, like, I'm not necessarily living a life of luxury by any means, but it's like we all live and we all die someday. Money means nothing. So I just fucking spend my money because it doesn't mean anything to me, because someday I'm going to be dead, and the things that I want, that I could have had, or that I really wanted that I didn't get, I had never had them. And someday I'm going to die. So
here's the thing. True.
That's a.
Obviously true. Okay.
I know you're always got to have a fucking smart ass rebuttal. All right, I
No, no,
want to
no.
hear it.
Hold
Though. I
on.
always like to hear what Cole says.
Blanket truth. Yes, agreed. And that also informs
That's why
my.
I was.
Hold on.
Sorry.
No, no. Actually, I want to hear what you had to say.
No, I don't
That's
even remember. I'm tuned up, so go ahead.
no, but what I was just gonna say is like, so I have two minds about this. Okay. And I
That's
think this
okay.
is something that one should kind of like try to cultivate. Like it's the yin and the yang. It's darkness and light. It's
I'm.
the blah blah blah.
Yeah, yeah. I want to hear it. I want to hear it.
Okay, so the way that I look at this is how it's materialized in my life is when it comes to large amounts of money, I find that I'm a little more smart about it, and
Sure.
quote unquote in terms of like return on investment or value or whatever you want
Yeah,
to
yeah.
call it.
Yep.
When it comes to like regular everyday stuff, I have the exact same philosophy, and sometimes with bigger things. But basically, like the way that I look at it is like all I ever wanted out of life in terms of money mainly was what I used to say to Shpressa is like, if the music pays our bills, I will think that we've made it. Okay. Obviously, it went beyond that, but the way that I look at that
That's
is
so
sort of like,
awesome. God, I still
no,
love that.
no, but listen,
Anyways, go on.
no, but what I'm saying is like the way that I have,
No, I'm just saying from a personal perspective to know that because you've spent so much of your life doing that, and it just like, and you had so much support. Well, maybe not, but I feel like your family, your grandpa did what they could to support you, and they
yeah, yeah,
they
they
had a
did.
vision. They shared that vision
Well, and
with
not
you.
just that.
And it's
Well,
so cool, dude.
the thing is like
It's
to
a
the extent.
really remarkable. I shouldn't say remarkable story, but it's a very
Well,
cool.
it's a nice
It's
term.
yeah. Well, I mean, it is. It's a very cool because like and maybe to me it's more of a bias thing because I know you personally, but to like have a friend and you live in a small town and to like see them like blow up and succeed in a way that a lot of people don't. It's a really cool fucking. I mean, it's just a like a good. It's like a feel good story. It's like you know what, I may not be
Yeah, but
doing the greatest,
I
or
also
I
think
may.
that no, but the thing extends to everybody. Like I think about that sometimes in terms of that anybody can do anything they want.
Well,
That's the thing that
I know that.
you know what I'm saying. Like so that
Yeah,
also
no, I know where
extends
you're
to
coming from.
like because there's no and that is like when we talk to each other. That's why I do try to encourage you to like. You are a guy of many talents.
I know.
The only thing that separates you and me is that I focused on one thing and stuck to it consistently. That's literally the only difference. There's no like you could be a great at almost anything that you want to set your mind to.
Well, you
You know,
could
and
too.
I know
You're in
it's
the
not,
same,
but I'm saying I know.
but I know you found your like thing, right? And you stuck
Well,
to it. So I get that.
the thing is like I found the thing that I will no matter what like when I always think about this because you always pop into my mind when I think about this, but it's like when you said to me one time, like
Yeah.
when you first actually pointed out to me, like, oh man, it's another fucking phase. Cole and his phases, and it's still like an inside joke between us. And
Yeah,
I've thought about that over the years, like how this was like a thing that wasn't just a phase. And
really
and
was.
that's really the thing. Like I am a phase person, and because I'm a phase person, I
But now you like went beyond that though because you had your phases and you did those phases and you have one phase and it's not a phase, right? It's a fucking
well, no,
it's an
but
awesome thing for you. But now you're able though because you I don't want to say mastered it because I don't think you would even consider that you've
no,
mastered it.
no, no,
But so
no.
that's why I wouldn't say that. But
But I would
okay,
say
so
like
but in my mind though,
a
like
master is also somebody who's trying to become a master. You see what I'm saying? Like I'm always
yeah.
trying to be better. So I just want to
The
say
only
that, like
the only point it's not a very exciting point. The only thing I was getting to is that now that you have like your phase, now you can do like any phase you want.
well, yeah, in some
Dude,
sense,
you can
but then
do, you know what I mean? Like I'm just saying, it's like
in
they're
some
no longer
sense,
phases now. Now it's just like, dude, you can branch out and go from wherever because you've got this platform and you can just succeed in so many different things because
I wish
and
that
it's
were
because of
true,
all the
but
work that you've done though. But you
I mean,
can, dude. When you told me the other day, like, oh yeah, I did this little story thing. I've only got 300 subscribers, dude. That's a lot of subscribers. You know how many people have a YouTube and have probably had it for how many years, and they don't even have that many. And you just threw it up there as a side thing, and it's like, oh yeah, it's only got 300. Well, that's pretty fucking good, man. That's pretty cool.
Well, that's very sweet of you, man. But I can't really, and I appreciate that. But what were we talking about?
I don't remember, but I like how as soon as you ripped, you're like, wait, what were we talking about?
No,
You totally
no, but
fucking forgot.
no,
Like,
no,
it's-
it's
dude,
not
it
that I
wasn't like-
forgot. It's just that
No,
it
you
was
did.
that was a major aside because I was
you
saying
got-
something,
It
and then
hit you, and as soon as you ripped, you're like, you took it, and then you're like enjoyed it for just like your little millisecond or second, and then when you came back to after the whole thing, you were like, wait, what were we talking about? And I totally know how that goes because I've been there and I've done that. And it's like you're sitting there rambling on,
God
and then it's
damn
like,
it.
hold on a sec, I got to do it, I got to do this, and then you take the rip or whatever, and then you come back and you're like, all right, wait, hold on, what was I doing?
God damn it! Why do you
It's
know
so
me
funny.
so? Why are we so
Fucking-
similar? But here's the thing. No, here's the thing. Like, no, but we had a main thread. I want to get back to the main thread. That's all I'm saying. Is like, 'cause we
Okay, let
got
me
off
think.
on
let
an
me think.
aside.
We got off. Dude, I feel like we never,
know.
dude, we never stick on a main topic, bro.
I know, but I'm saying like this has to come to
It makes
completion.
it exciting though.
We need the orgasm for this thread that we were on.
You were talking about, I was talking about money, and then you were getting into that, and we got into your phases, and you were
No,
explaining
but the thing about
people.
what you do when you don't
Yep.
like when you have resources, like you just said, you said like, and the way that I look at this is
No, I didn't say you had resources. I said you had a
no, but
platform.
I'm saying people. No, but before you were saying like you have resources, I have resources. Like when you have, you started this with like a resource conversation.
I never said anything about resources.
No, but you said when you have the money to do certain things.
Oh, yes.
So
No,
that's
wait, no, I
resources.
didn't.
Yeah, you did.
No, I
You
didn't.
did.
No, I didn't.
I wish I could rewind. But I
Dude, you
can't
can.
until no, but
It's
not until
recorded,
later.
bro.
I know, but later, what I'm only gonna know in retrospect. Okay, well,
Maybe
whatever.
I did. I
No,
might
you
have got
said
on it.
no, but you said something about like where you said the way you view money. That's what you started with. The way you view money, right? And you said something about like you're gonna die anyway, blah blah blah. And then I said,
Yeah, I said that.
I said I have two minds about this. Now we're
Yes,
back
you
on the
said
main
that.
thread. Now we're back on the main thread. So I have two minds
Yeah.
about this. So on one hand, when it comes to just basic, like the basic flow of like what you get in a month, I'm really
Oh,
bad.
and then
No,
we're probably gonna sidetrack again, because then I started like bragging you up, and I was like,
exactly.
yeah,
So that's what I'm saying. So I said, and it's what I'm continuing. Okay, so when it comes to like the basic amounts that you get in a month, like whatever, like your salary, your whatever comes in, I'm terrible with that. But
bro,
like
you know
with
how much I make in a
no, but
month right now, bro?
hold on. With one, so like with our publishing deal in 2019, what I did with that was basically like put it in the stock market, and I've never touched it. So all we've lived off of, like, so we got a couple of good deals and all that shit. It's just basically like my whatever you want to call it.
Did you
40.
put it into a bunch of blue chips or what?
Well, not entirely. I actually bet on Tesla a little bit. So Tesla is like 30% of my portfolio, and I actually bet on
But
Tesla.
you got scared for a while.
Yeah, and I didn't sell because that's fucking stupid. That's
Yes.
the only thing. Like, remember, what did Warren Buffett always say? This is what I distill everything he's ever said into.
You know, here's
Which
the
is,
thing
no,
about.
hold on, let me just say it, and then please
Yep,
hold your
go
thought.
ahead. Yep.
Time in the market beats timing the market. That's all I'm gonna say. And now continue.
Yeah, I get that.
Time in the
But
market
I was
beats
also gonna
timing the
say,
market.
yeah, I was also gonna say though, I would love to be able to invest in that and do a lot of the blue chip stocks like Tesla, like Nvidia, like AMD.
Well, Tesla's still considered a growth stock because it's a little bit uncertain, but it
still
has
it's
blue
maybe,
chips
but
to me are like Ford, which I did invest in as well. Like Ford,
yeah,
Walmart is basically a blue chip.
I still consider Tesla blue chip at this point. I mean,
They
guy's
could
got
fail
so many.
though.
This guy,
mean,
I mean, he could fail, but he's got so many different innovations going on, and you've got Tesla supported by
agreed.
SpaceX, and those are both two different entities.
Yeah,
So
you're
it's like
making my
it's really
argument
hard.
for me. Yes, I agree.
Yeah, it's really hard to fail that. And that's just coming from a very like non, you know, don't know I don't know much about stock market, but I know a little because I was getting into it. The issue for me though with the stock market is in order to get into the stock market and really be able to make money off of it, especially if you're investing, especially if you're going to invest in blue chip stocks, you need to have money to make money. So like, 'cause you can go on the stock market, right? But you've got Microsoft shares and Nvidia shares now that they've recently split, right? And they did a split on it. So then, because their shares used to be like 3,000 and they split it. So then they dropped to like one whatever.
By the way,
130.
isn't that a fun little trick?
I've looked
see what
into
I'm
it
saying?
a little bit.
It's a fun little trick because think about the perception when you're looking at it. You think about it as like a cheaper stock, but at the same time, the market cap is going up and up and up and up, which I think is I think Elon Musk utilized that really.
That's the whole point of splitting it. But there are
no, but they don't say
that
though. They don't say that though.
Well, no,
they
but
say the point of splitting is like, oh, we want to bring in smaller investors or whatever. No,
well, see that is part of it, but splitting it, yes, it makes it more attractive to a buyer. But the reason they split it though at the bare level is specifically so they can bring in those buyers in hopes of raising their stock price and their market cap even more. Because the more buyers they have, the higher their stock goes. The stock drops, right, when somebody sells the stock.
Listen, I agree with you 100%. I don't disagree at all. But I'm also,
and only with blue chips. But you do need money to make money in the stock market.
No, but
like
hold
if I'm
on,
going
hold
to
on.
the stock market, hold on. If I'm investing in like blue chip stocks, like if I want to invest Nvidia, okay, let's say I'm just gonna go with Nvidia because I what are they like at 150 right now, 140 probably with what they've been at for a while. Maybe they're at 160. I know they've gone up and down, but they haven't stagnated. They had a drop here and there.
Nvidia?
What are they at right now?
Nvidia right now is where's it say that? I don't know. 178.
Wow, that Intel partnership skyrocketed them because I'm pretty sure 2 weeks ago they were around 150.
Can I tell you? Can I tell you something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you want to know what my average share price in Nvidia is?
What?
$37.
When the fuck did you get in on that?
I bought a bunch of stock in Nvidia before I knew anything about anything, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to just.
When was this?
This was like 2000. I didn't have any money either. I invested a tiny amount of money.
I get it. When was this?
This was like 2018 or 2019.
They were. I didn't look into any of that type of stuff when I know,
but I had like a few $100s, and I was like, I want to get into the stock market. And then I was just doing my research.
How many shares do you have? Will you tell me how many shares you have?
Yeah, I have 162 shares of Nvidia.
That's not a lot, but
no, it's not.
At that price point, that's what is that like 50, 60 grand right there?
Right now, in my portfolio, it's worth about 28,000.
Oh, okay. So I was way off, but yeah. So that's why I'm saying though, like right now, like so when I want to get into Nvidia right now, right? I gotta wait. Wait for a low point. They're at 178.
Wait for them to that's hit. The thing. But then you got to look at like.
I know, but this is my point though. What I'm trying to say is, even at $30, difference between $30 and $130 is a hell of a lot of money. If I want to make even any sort of money on Nvidia at this point, I mean, I've got to.
But dude, you got to try to look for the next Nvidia.
I already knew about that shit in 2018.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly, but what could you tell me now? You see what I'm saying? You know things.
Nothing, because those are the big companies.
No. But
right now, I don't know. I haven't looked into it.
I know, but here's the thing. Your brain. One thing we know about each other is this, right? That our brains work very similarly. That's the only reason we're doing this. That's the reason we're still friends. That's the reason everything, right? That's the reason we were friends.
We're only still friends because our brain works similarly? It's not because you like me?
Well, yeah, I mean, of course I like you, but I'm not saying it's because our brains work similarly.
You know what? I'll tell you.
It doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt.
God, we are so similar.
But let me just finish my point. My point is that if you're anything like me, what I realized after just a couple of weeks
You're,
was like I
yeah.
was I was super intimidated about this. I was like, I always felt like, oh, I should be somebody who knows how to invest in the stock market, blah 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 blah.
Okay. I'm going to stop you
And
before you have any. Not, I'm going to stop you right now before you have anything to say. And I
okay,
apologize for the
no, it's fine, it's
Clintonism.
fine. Can continue.
Um, I was fucking with the stock market for quite some time when I was working and I had money to burn.
Yeah.
Um,
But were you trading or investing? See what I'm saying?
both. But listen,
No, but see, here's the thing.
it's gonna be short and sweet. So
I've never thought that I was smart enough to trade. That's the
I
difference
was
between
doing
you and I.
both. And
Hold on.
but
Yeah, you, but you.
the thing I want to get into is when I started when I started getting into it and I was looking at it, and even now this is gonna even prove my point even further. To be honest, when I was getting into it, which wasn't very long ago, but Nvidia hadn't merged with Intel yet. Their stock was dropping. Um, and they were at a low, and their low at the time was 115. Their high at the time was like 140ish. So, anyways, even if I wanted to buy into Nvidia to make it even a reasonable amount of money over a
Yeah.
certain period of time, like okay, yeah, their stock now is at 178, but I mean they've been at 115 to 140 for almost probably 3 years. It only recently shot up, right, because of that
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Intel merge, because they merged with Intel now, and which is
Yep.
why their stock right now is at
Yeah,
where it's at. Eventually, it's
exactly.
going to
Yeah,
drop again
agreed.
a little bit, but it's going
Yeah,
to
it
stay.
will.
It's going to fluctuate higher. But I'm saying, like right now, like to get in on that, at 100 and say if I can get in at like, because I won't, but let's just say I can get in at $150 a stock. I mean, 150
I gotta stop you. I
$150.
gotta stop you. I gotta stop you because you know what I'm hearing.
Oh my God.
Hold on a
Hold on.
second.
Hey,
No, no, hold
wait. How
on.
much?
Listen for
No,
two
no, no, no,
seconds.
no, no. Stop. I don't have. I'm not rebutting. I got to do something. How much more time do we have on here?
Yeah, I got a peel, so I can do another hour
Okay.
maximum.
I wanted to go refill this quick.
I'm gonna
That's it.
piss. You do that. Take your
Okay.
fastest shit in the north or whatever, and yeah.
Oh shit. I'm still there. I'm still the fastest. Yeah, I can say. No damn. Wait, how much fucking kids are eating? So you're just not with them? No. I said, look at that. You ain't nowhere. Oh, Father. 400. Fucking not sure. Off the big thing for next world. Who the fuck are you? Oh. Oh. Stacy, that shitty ain't Stacy. Stacy, shitty ain't. Uh, uh, bitch. I thought you busy. I don't know. I don't know. Oh my god.
Rock your body right. Backstreet's back.
Dude, you need to do a Backstreet Boys remix, bro.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do I mean? That's straightforward, bro. You need to do a Backstreet Boys remix.
What are you talking about?
Fucking Flora Cash style Backstreet Boys.
What are you talking about?
What? Talk
What are you
about Backstreet Boys.
Were you hearing the music I was listening to?
No?
Oh shit, that was weird. Because I was playing an idea that I had today. I was using this time.
And it was going along with Backstreet Boys?
No, but I was just thinking, like, I was like, oh my God, can he hear what I'm listening to? And then you were like, you got to do a Backstreet Boys thing. And I was like,
Oh,
man, is that the vibe this is sending out? That's interesting.
it's
But-
like, shit, I hope not. I'm not
Oh,
trying
no,
to send
actually-
boy band vibes.
No, but I love those guys. But dude, okay, here's the thing.
I do
if
too,
I
that's
go-
why I was-
Listen to me really carefully, please.
What?
If I go to live right now on our Floracash YouTube, you have to promise me no, just don't like bring up stuff that's gonna be like if the public would see it, with our stuff on a separate platform, we can be a little more edgy, and I'm totally down for that. But I'm thinking like we just be ourselves,
Dude,
but
that's
just
a lot of pressure, man. Oh, honestly.
but forget about it.
I get what you're saying. Yeah,
But just kind of like don't bring up
Bro,
like
you're-
the Taylor Swift, back of the album cover type deal.
why are you putting it in my head? Like, you know how my brain works. I feel like sometimes
Okay,
shit, but
let's
no,
go
I
back
get it.
to what
I
we were
get it.
talking about. Actually, okay, skip this for now.
Can I put a different shirt on or something?
What the hell were we talking about though?
Shit. Hold on. Oh my God, I'm old, bro.
I
Fuck,
know,
I
me
hate old
too.
man brain, dude. Okay, so we were talking, and now we're talking again, and I don't know what we were talking about.
All right, I got an idea. Hold on a second.
Just put. Okay, let's do it. Since I know that or whatever, if you do it and I don't know, I'll keep that in mind. Just do that, and if you do that or whatever, just don't tell me that. Oh yeah, well, hey, by the way, we're live. I don't need to know that. I get
No,
it.
that's a
So
good point. That's a good point.
But just don't let me know that we are.
I think I
That's
probably
all.
won't. I think I probably won't go live. See what I'm saying?
God damn it.
No, but actually, I'm
Wait,
thinking
does that mean you did go live though, and you're just
Yeah,
telling
that's
me
the
we're
thing.
not gonna go live?
exactly. See, this is the thing. Is like why one has to.
You're accusing.
No, but here's the thing. This is why one has
Interesting.
to.
But that would be a good thought experiment though, because if you actually are live now and you told me that we're not, wait, the light might mean you're live. Now
No,
you're
it doesn't.
throwing in like all these other third party things, bro, and it's fucking
No,
with me. Are you fucking with my brain, man?
I'm actually not. Dude, so here's the thing. It's
Damn
more
it.
like
Now you've got my conspiracy theory brain working. What the fuck's going on right now? No, see, here's a problem. Like, if you told me we were live, then I guess it wouldn't change much. I don't really care. But like me telling you not to tell me, but then you do it, which is totally fine. I get, because whatever, I get it. It's in my brain.
that's a
So
good point. It is in your brain, yes.
So yeah, I can be respectable on that part, sure. I just I would expect you then to lead a little bit, some sort of.
Yeah, but see, that's the problem. Is like it also can't be different. You know what I'm saying?
Well, no, I wouldn't expect.
No,
it to
no,
be
but
different.
here's what I'm saying. Like that's
Sure,
why I
sure.
shouldn't. That's why I shouldn't have said anything. And that's actually the problem that I wanted to address. Like, so right now, what I'm doing is I'm looking at settings on YouTube, even if I
Yeah, I
wanted
can.
to
I
do
know
it.
that. I can see it through your glasses.
So here's the thing, like
I see you through your own eyes.
this is why I think like the superior
Am I
format.
too weird to be on live though?
No, you're not. You know what it is?
Oh,
I'm too
what?
afraid.
I get that.
And we've talked about that before, but like I'm experimenting with
Well, if
edginess, and I do think like authenticity and edginess is going to be the future. But it's also like
well, yeah, I
I
do
have
too.
to
But
do it like
I'm also thinking, well, that Charlie Kirk video that you posted with the title of it, I just shake my head every time I see it
why?
because it's clever, but it's also implying you're. I feel like you're drawing in viewers that had or have because you're the the title to me implies that it was celebrated, but
Exactly, exactly.
and it brings in those viewers as well as others who would be like, "Oh my God, is he serious? He celebrated that." It brings in both sides of viewers. That's the thing about that title because I see it and we had a talk about it, and I haven't actually. I'm actually still too afraid to click on it to see if that's what went on because it's like the title is like, "Whoa," because it implies that, but I don't think it is or whatever. But I saw that title and it's literally very basic. It's to the point, but I see I see what you're doing with the title. But yeah, it's a clever title.
Yeah, but it's also like you're connecting that to the main point or the main thread, which was that
Yeah. But it
like
leaves
I
it up
like
in question.
I
It leaves it up in question, which draws both sides.
yeah, exactly, which is like and that
Which
goes
also
into
can pose a problem though, because then you're sitting there and you've got to be middle of the road.
well, here's the
But
thing. But
and
actually
if
this is proving this is
that's a
like I
good title for a live, dude.
no, but here's the thing. I'm trying to
We
like
missed that boat.
you basically I get what you're saying. I understand. But you basically hit on the exact what you would call artistic intent, which is like and this is what you might be missing from your analysis is
Sure.
the middle of the road thing. I actually think that art, like what I'm starting to realize now as I get older and as I continue to make music and just, like in the situation that I'm in and I'm, watching the zeitgeist and blah, 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 absorbing it like everybody else. Um,
Right.
there's something about, uh, fuck,
Think what? What are
fuck.
you doing?
I should not have smoked that last hit of the MJ.
Jesus. Oh my God, this
There's
guy.
some no, but
Uh,
there's
The
something about
zeitgeist
there's something about
title.
no, hold on.
I'm fucking it up. Oh shit.
Wait, what did I just say? Now it's on you as a listener. Like where was I? Now you got to prove your
Uh,
salt
hold
here.
on. I wasn't listening, bro. I mean, I was listening, but I'm like supposed to be the responder, so I've got other shit.
Yeah,
You
but you
got me
can't. No,
mixed
no,
up
but
now, bro. Hold on. Okay, okay, okay,
okay.
okay.
Reverse engineer your responses to understand why you were going to respond that way, and then you'll under.
Middle of the road. You were at middle of the road, and I was talking about how that title implies that it could go either way, so it entices both viewers to engage.
Yes,
And then
yes,
you
yes.
started coming up with an artistic point, in that you wanted to say what I was missing in my analysis of the middle, based off the middle of the road
Well, what I'm
statement.
saying is that art is subversive. Like what I'm
It's
realizing more
subjective.
and more. No, but no, it's not just subjective. It's also subversive. Like in the sense that
I use
my
such the generalized statement.
no, but
Art
I'm
is
saying
subjective. You can
no,
tell
it's
I'm
not.
out of
It's
it
no, no,
just
no,
because.
no, no. But you're right. You're right. It is subjective, but it's also subversive, and that's what I'm starting to
Okay.
realize. That's what I'm starting to realize only because I've had this particular
Wait, what does
focus.
that word mean right now? I don't remember.
Oh, it means basically like actually, it's basically like going against the mainstream, but you're in disguise.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So you're basically like you're a wolf in sheep's clothing. That
Yes, I get it.
yeah, he
You,
is
you
being
you bring all
subversive.
the yeah, all the little piggies, and then you got the sheep. All right, gotcha. All right,
No,
let's
but
go.
and what I'm saying is that like that video to me was it at the same time as it's real and spontaneous, the
Right, yeah, very much so.
where the artistic brain pops in is like now that I have this, how do I present it if I present it? And I happen to be doing it live, so it kind of is what it is. And then
Right,
I
right.
have to also understand that, but at the same time I'm being very frank. And then the question is like, what do you call it to package it in such a way that it's not going to like, it's going to draw attention but not alienate people? either.
Yeah, well, that's why I said it was clever, because it didn't do either one of those.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
I think the people
Well,
it
thank
would,
God. I'm actually glad to hear that from you, because you would tell
yeah,
me if
well,
it was no.
but see, I didn't even, I haven't even clicked on it yet, but I keep glazing across it, and I'm like, what does he have to say? It has that, it gives you that feeling of, what does this guy have to talk about? You know what I mean? Because
Well, and
it
also
doesn't
it
give
seems kind
away.
of out of character, right? Like it's like
Well, with you, me knowing you as well as I do know.
no, but like for anybody that listens to Flora Cash, yes. Probably.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
very much so.
Yeah.
Very, very much so, yes. And is that what
Yes.
you were trying to?
Well, but I'm just trying to say, like, I believe in this like ethos that is emerging in the zeitgeist of like radical honesty. I believe in that. I really do. I think like I don't want to be spied on, but I also believe in being as transparent as possible. So that's the dichotomy. That's like the yin and yang. Is like I don't believe in a society where
Well,
somebody
what I
else.
what I wonder
Oh,
though is,
oh, hold
like,
on. I
yeah,
just
go ahead.
please
Yep.
try to
So,
hold
I'm
that
sorry.
thought.
Go ahead.
No, no, don't be sorry, but just try to hold
Okay.
that.
Yep.
I don't believe in a society where like we have Big Brother like enforcing behavioral changes or whatever.
Fair enough.
But
Me too.
I do believe because it's inevitable that technology is it forces us to be more transparent because like things we say, things we do, everything
Yes,
is being
but it's
it's
a very much
online.
with that being said, it's very much it's a very double-edged sword with that, because it can either be very enforceful, or it can be very transparent and, go unseen, which is what ideally you would want to happen, even though you're still being monitored, because you have that in the back of your, always, that's what technology is. It's the ability to, what can we do as a government? What can we do as a society to keep tabs on everybody and what they're doing, to with an intent of what they want to put out in the public media as, what can we do, you know, as a government or as a society to keep people safe, when in reality all they're doing is vying for more power, like in the grand scheme of things. Like, ultimately, that's the end goal, and that's always what it is, because
Well,
the more money you have, and the more power you have, the more power you want. Come on,
well, no, listen,
we've
I agree
delved in
with all
both
this.
the
I agree,
Jedi and
but
the Sith. Come on.
I gotta riff off this for a second. So
Yes.
the thing is that what you just okay, say that last part again before you started going on a different rant. Back up. Zoom like just go back like 20 seconds.
All right, 20
You're saying
seconds.
that oh you said something about
I was talking about the government and its intent to make it look like it's for public safety, but in the grand scheme of things, it's more of like a power move to have
yeah, yeah.
control
So
over
so so
people.
so I'll give you an example of like how you can zoom in on that and get it in a higher fidelity. Okay, where it's like
Okay,
it
fair
gives
enough.
you a little more compassion and sympathy for this viewpoint, right?
Sure.
What I've started to think about is what are most of like when we point to like the
Do I get to
Illuminati.
answer this, or is this
Yeah, yeah, of
rhetorical?
course, of course. I'm
Okay.
gonna say a thing and then I want you to, and then I'll be like I'm
Okay.
done or whatever.
All right. All right.
When we look at a structure that is like a super what do we say supranational slash global structure slash
Yeah.
people that are not loyal to any one country, like even myself, like I because I moved from America and then we were here and like the taxes were really high and
Yeah.
before
And
I
you
really
you have a great
but I'm saying
experience. Totally different viewpoint.
before I really understood that, there was a part of me that was like, I'm just gonna move there where it's lower taxes. Like I wasn't feeling a strong sense of loyalty, even though I am a proud American. In that moment, I was not feeling a strong sense of national loyalty. It was more like, where
Are you
can I move?
talking about the strong
No, what
sense
I'm
of
saying,
loyalty to America or Sweden?
anywhere.
Okay.
And so I'm saying like that wasn't like in that moment when I'm thinking in those ways, it's not a priority. And so I was willing to kind of move anywhere. I was like, where Bulgaria has super low. What does it look like in Bulgaria? What does the city look like?
Right.
Like what is I was just more thinking like, oh, because I'm a citizen of the world, because we all are also. Like it is planet Earth. So
Yes.
that is a true thing.
Fair enough.
But when you actually look at the people who are actually running these like first of all, they are like that except times 10 because they have literally bank accounts in every fucking country in the world.
Right.
And
Right.
then there's an added layer that I realized a few years ago when I was sitting there stoned and whatever.
Okay. Right.
The
I
added
want to hear
layer,
this. This is
but
interesting.
the added layer is this. What are they actually doing when they're trying to get this control and all this kind of stuff? Like we talk about it like it's
So
like
you are agreeing with me though to
no, no,
some extent.
yeah, but I'm telling you, I'm agreeing with you, but I said I was going to zoom in, give it more high
Oh, okay.
resolution.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
So
my fault.
I agree with you. What I'm saying is that why do they manifest this impulse more than say we do in the commons, like us common people? You know, the populace, the populace.
Wait. Hold on here. You lost me.
No, I'm saying like why okay, so why do the people that seem to be in this sort of like Illuminati class, why do they
Yeah.
have this why do they seem to have a stronger impulse for this sense of control and
It,
of the global
it,
society? No, hold on. That's one question, okay? But my
okay.
answer that came to me was um they grew up under a spotlight. That's something that we didn't have.
What
Like in other
are
words,
you?
if
You're
you
talking about like the silver spoon?
yeah, but I'm saying if you grow up rich, you like even if you don't have nannies, you have something where it's like you are way more like every action you take is kind of recorded, controlled, like
Yes.
documented.
Yes.
So it's sort of like we always think like oh because they want to record, document like whatever all of society, we think evil intentions, which they can be
Right.
that can all be used for evil, which is why we should resist it. But from a
Okay.
psychological point of view, a lot of these people, like you wonder, how can they all be so fucking evil? And it's like, well, it's not that they're evil, it's that they come from a
Sure.
class of society where they were surveilled themselves their whole life,
Right.
and they think, oh, it made me safer, it made
Okay.
me better, it
Well,
made me
but
stronger. You
what?
see what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah, sure. But okay, what about this? What about the outliers? Because not everybody born underneath that surveillance and underneath the pressure of having to abide and be a certain way and look a certain way on the outside of people. Like there's got to be somebody somewhere at some point that becomes an outlier that
No,
says,
but
"Hey,"
no, but the thing is,
and
the
then
only
they
you're right,
become
Clinton. But the thing is that it's not that that's common. There are always outliers, and you know what we call those?
crazies.
The white hats.
Well, the crazies,
No, but
the
the
ones
white
they
hat.
make look. Well,
No,
yeah,
no,
but
but
they're the
I'm
ones.
not. I'm not saying they're the people
Well,
that would. They're
I'm not familiar with the term, so go ahead.
no, but like so it started with hacker like terminology,
Okay.
lingo. Hacker
Yes.
lingo was like a black hat, like literally like you're wearing a
Right.
black yeah
Yep.
a
I get
black
that term.
a black hat is a hacker who's hacking systems for malicious reasons or like as a
Right.
bad guy.
Right.
Like a white hat is somebody who like hacks into things and then exposes vulnerabilities or says, "Hey, you need to fix this because I just broke in." And
Yeah, they're doing it. Yeah, it's a
yeah, but they have good
we're
intentions.
gonna hire you to we're gonna hire you to hack us and show us what we're doing wrong,
Yes,
expose our vulnerabilities.
but a white hat could also be hacking for purposes of like let's say that there's a terrorist organization and they have a system and that
Yep.
system will tell you where the hostages are. A white
Yep.
hat would be like I'm going to hack into that. So what I'm saying is that in the global elite,
Right.
whatever the prevailing sort of like will of that global elite is, like that is going to steer things for all of us. But no matter what, the only reason that things aren't worse than they are in a sense is because at any given time there's always a certain ratio of white hats even within that organization. So
Sure enough.
I'm not even saying people that go publicly and go like, "Oh, I'm a whistleblower." I'm saying like I think
Right.
even in
Well,
the CIA there's a whole faction of people that are like,
but
"Oh, I
the
really am
media and
America
governments are
first."
the media and governments are very good at making the whistleblowers look like they're crazy people.
Yeah, but I'm saying like I'm not even just whistleblowers. I'm talking about people that are in the system. You know what I mean? Like that are
Right.
basically like steering things. Like I think like we always think about the CIA as
Yeah, but
like
who?
rogue elements of the government are doing this shit. But I'm saying there's also rogue good guys. I believe that. I think otherwise things would be worse than they
Yeah,
are.
but in
You
that
know?
case, then I mean, and if that's the case, then can it not be said that I feel like if that's the case, then the rogue black hats far outweigh the rogue white hats at this point, or white hats at this point.
Freudian slip. Interesting.
It
White hacks. Interesting.
was That is a prime example. I love it. I knew you were gonna fuck it. As soon as I corrected myself, I'm like, shit. Here comes Cole with his goddamn. I knew it, but no.
Well,
But
Shell, it sounded like you just had a Freudian slip.
well, excuse me, sir. Excuse me, but it sounded like
No, excuse me, sir.
No,
It
excuse me. You're not.
No, please, excuse
No, I
me.
apologize completely. I'm sorry.
I feel totally
I'm sorry,
baffled.
sir. I'm sorry.
I'm so embarrassed, but excuse me.
Oh, excuse me. No, excuse me. Excuse you. No, excuse each other. Together we can make a one.
Okay, Clinton, let's
What?
reframe.
Okay.
Because we only have so much time. Like, after 4 a.m., it would be a travesty if I'm still awake. Here's the
No,
thing.
you're fine.
Here's the thing.
No, trust me, you're fine.
Yesterday, I broke a 64-hour fast. First time in my life that I've done something like that. I did, like, 2 weeks ago, I had a tooth pulled, like a wisdom tooth thing.
Yeah.
And I did like because I was in so much pain that it like nothing sounded fun anyway. I was like, I don't even want to eat food. I don't want to drink beer. I just want to take like ibuprofen and what's it called, paracetamol, and just like ride this out. So I was like, it's already shitty to eat and stuff. I may as well fast.
Paracetamol?
Well, that's basically what would
Is
they
that like
call it?
Tylenol?
That is not Tylenol. That is
Para.
oh, it is Tylenol. Yeah. So I was like, I'm taking paracetamol and ibuprofen. If you combine them, because they work on different mechanisms, I learned this from a dentist actually. If you're in pretty extreme pain, if you can, so ibuprofen, the way that it works,
Ibuprofen's for inflammation reduction,
yeah.
which can help reduce pain based because of inflammation and
Yes.
inflaming goes down. Anyways, yeah.
And then paracetamol, so they work synergistically, and that
Yep.
actually seemed like
Do the trick.
It seemed to do the trick. But I did that fast, and then I did that other fast, and it was interesting.
Okay.
Have
May
you
I
ever done
ask
that?
why?
Actually, to
fast?
be honest, because I was like, I've never actually done a full reset on my system. Like I've always.
It's interesting that you were.
But I
doing
do
it fast.
like since I was a kid, I'm probably similar to you. We're probably similar in this, but I've always naturally intermittent fasted. Like normally, I don't want to eat lunch, like breakfast or lunch. My whole
Right,
life,
yeah,
since
yeah.
like I've always been a dinner only person, so
Right.
it
Yep.
wasn't as hard. But I've never
Mhm.
done like more than 20, like not even 24 hours.
Well,
of,
did you did
fasting.
like a full fast, and did you not even drink any liquids either?
No, but I did a water fast, you could say.
Oh,
I mean, I
okay.
took minerals. I took water and minerals, mineral salt type of deal, and tea. What do you mean? Why is that funny?
What kind of tea? Chamomile?
Green tea.
Oh, wait. Oh,
That
yeah.
doesn't-
That makes sense. I was thinking of going to sleepy time with chamomile. Green tea,
No.
that'll get your heart going.
Yeah, which is good. It's good for
Yeah,
fat
for a
burning and all
fat.
that kind of stuff. Well, no, but I was
You know
actually
what?
thinking like I have I'm not but like I had a little bit of a
Look at
little.
him trying. I saw you trying to flex a little
No,
bit.
I'm saying a little bit of
See
a
that?
beer belly. No, I said I swear to God, I
No, look
wasn't.
at you trying to
No.
flex. Look at that.
You're such a fucking. I really wasn't. I have done that at other times on this conversation, but not then. It's just like it's sort of like, okay, I'm 35 years old.
Does
I
that look
have
like
mo-
I'm flexing? Does that look like I'm flexing?
That dude,
Huh?
your right arm is definitely bigger than
Wait.
your left arm,
That's my
though.
left.
Never mind.
No, that's my left.
Never mind. God, you got
Oh,
so much.
you're right. Oh, what? They got
Nah,
the light. You can't see anything,
nah,
bro.
actually, no, I was wrong. Here's the thing. You got that like serious. You got some serious mass, dude. You've always had that like nice condensed sort of like. Arf!
There's the fucking Mr. Bicep egg over there.
No, do the fucking do the elite
What?
grunt. Flex and do the elite, like if you do this and then you do the elite grunt.
Okay, all right. I just let me frame this.
Yeah.
All right. Work. You believe you just made me do that, bro?
Dude, those Halo days though. Like it's so funny that we had this crossover like of friends where it was like not even friends, like
You never
would-
even played it, and the only reason you were ever even remotely interested in it, like, and I would even call it interest, was the sole fact that Clinton plays it, I guess.
Yes. But what was the one thing is like,
Respect.
you know what it was? First of all,
What?
yes, absolutely, like completely. Like I wanted to
Oh
be in
yeah,
on
yeah.
that. I wanted to be in on that zeitgeist. The other side of it is like when you exposed me to Halo, you did me a huge favor in the sense that I really loved the fucking campaign. Like for me, it was like the live stuff, the LAN things that you guys were doing. It was exciting to be part of it, but I wasn't like good at it. I didn't think
How
of
are we?
myself. But no, what I'm
How?
saying is like the fucking you exposed me to the whole lore of Halo, which was like I mean, I fucking ate that shit up. Like I was like, oh my god, I really get it. Like why these guys are
That's
into
why
this.
a lot of people liked it though back in the day, like with the
Yeah,
first
yeah.
2 or 3, because they really did actually enjoy the story.
It
As the
was a
games went
great
on, right,
fucking
they
story.
they got worse and worse, and then the multiplayer got bad, and a majority of the players who were still playing were like the hardcore multiplayer people. I stopped playing. I really stopped playing Halo at the end of Halo 2. Halo 3. I played a lot of Halo 3, but not to the extent I don't think I did with Halo 2, but
Well, no,
Halo 2 was like
the
when I was like in
story
my
the
pro days.
story
But
dropped off. The story dropped
yeah,
off. But
so
Halo 2 was
Halo 1 and Halo 2 story were like prime. Then Halo 3 was like, eh. And then Halo 4 onwards was like this shit,
well also
not
the
good.
fact that they tried to do that weird thing a few years ago where they were like I mean quite some years ago now, but where they were trying to
Yeah.
like, oh, we're gonna phase out Master Chief and it's gonna be, a team of Spartans. It was just such a
Oh, that
ridiculous
was with actually that was quite successful. Not to like,
so
yeah,
yeah,
I
but it
don't know
destroys the
why
franchise.
you're thinking. Yeah, no, well, they did because they did Halo 1, Halo 2, um, and then Halo 3, and then they did Halo what was it? Halo, was it called Halo? What the fuck was it called? I don't even remember anymore. Halo Recon, Halo whatever, but it was like a story which you weren't Master Chief, and he wasn't even a thing really in the game, and it was like about like the other soldiers. That was kind of a thing in the universe because like it was still about other Spartans,
Yeah.
I think, but not about Master Chief, which basically phased him out. Um, but people actually did like that game. Like
Okay.
I I don't know.
What
I
did
don't
you
have
think
much to
about? I
say. I
mean,
think that's what you're referring
it
to.
sounds like you liked the game. That's fine.
I
There's
played it.
no.
I didn't really like it. No.
Okay, here's the thing. As far as I
What are we
remember,
talking about Halo? There's so much more interesting things we could talk about.
no, not necessarily. I just want to say this one thing, and then if you want to
Okay.
respond, see, that's the thing. If it's good enough that you want to respond, otherwise change the subject. But I'm going to say one thing. It'll either
Okay.
close this or keep it open.
Oh shit.
Halo. What was the last thing you said?
Wait. About what? This is how we know this is not like interesting because you don't even remember, and I'm not
It
sure where.
is.
Okay.
It is
The last thing
interesting.
I said was you were talking about
What were you
how
talking about?
Halo at some point after Halo 2 or Halo 3 phased out Master Chief and he became like non-existent, and then I rebutted and said actually this was supposed to be, it actually was a pretty decent thing, although
It
I
sold
was
lots of copies, kids.
it, I may not have been interested in it, but somebody was.
Actually, if I recall, there was many
Uh,
people.
there were back in my day, I had lots of Halos. There were many a moon where I could have been a
All right.
great Halo player, but
All I want to say is this.
what?
All I want to say is. All I want to say is that they don't really care
Not I
about
wanna
us.
sing. I don't know what song you're singing,
Oh my
but
God, it's
I
such a good
do.
song. It's Michael Jackson. Bro,
Oh,
listen.
what song is
2
that?
seconds. 2 seconds. Listen.
What?
Here's the deal.
Do you remember where you're going with this?
Okay, so you
Bro, you've
remember what
bitten
I
into
said.
one too many apples tonight.
You remember what I said.
Yeah, I do. No, I
So
do.
pick me
Like
up where I left off.
telepathically, yes, I remember. What about it?
I can't remember.
Bro,
I'm gonna be honest.
telepathically, I can remember. Do you need me to send it to you? Like, like
No,
through
I need you to
waves or
say
what?
it. I need you to
Radio
say it.
frequencies?
Hit me with it.
Hit me, baby, one more time. Oops, I did it again. It's something. It's something.
Oh man.
No, no, no,
Once
no.
once again, I go to
Baby.
the Halo. So
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
thing is that Halo,
Telepathy.
you can go anywhere with Master Chief. That's the thing. It's like, okay. Here's the big picture. The
You're
whole
gonna have to
con-
tell me on this.
the whole concept of Halo was already bold and interesting, and like it had no like it had precedence sort of, but it didn't have like a specific precedent. I mean,
Yeah,
it
I get
creates
it.
its own universe, and
From
it's
being a
bold,
player, yeah, I get it.
and it's yeah, exactly, and it's got like its own storyline, whatever.
Yes,
The thing
yes.
is that even in just the first Halo and the second Halo, there's so much world building in terms of these, like, what do you call it? Consoles, like these things that you tap, like all the little ancient robots that are buzzing around, and like there's so much potential there. And it tells you that this world that you're in is so old. It's so fucking old. And then you've
Yes.
got Master Chief, who is, in a sense, it's like our modern AI and our modern technology have sort of
Oh,
come.
shit, you really? Oh shit,
Know
you
what I'm
just made
saying?
it interesting now.
I'm
Yes,
saying
go ahead. Cortana.
we've come face to face now with some.
Microsoft had a patent. You know what Copilot used to
Hold on.
be was
You're gonna throw
Cortana.
me off. You gotta hold it for a
Sorry,
second.
they used to have Microsoft Cortana. It was, and now it's
I know, I
Microsoft
remember.
Copilot.
I remember.
All right.
But I never used it. But so we have Master Chief, we have his AI, we've got the super soldier of the fucking, like the ultimate
Right, right.
achievement. And now we're bumping up against things that are ancient that seem to be at that same level or greater. The thing is,
Okay.
we already have
I like that.
established
I'm loving the segue. Here we go, baby.
we've already established in this universe that things can happen, like that are relevant. Hold on, that things are relevant. We've already
Here we go.
established. We've already established in this story that things can be relevant even though they were initiated millions of years ago. And at the same time,
Yeah.
we've introduced a character that is essentially impervious to all sorts of damage that would normally. And he has this AI that's a little bit unique, who's like able to tap into all this stuff and not lose her mind or whatever.
Yeah.
No, but hold on. And now,
No. Yep.
here's my question: why couldn't you stretch the story of literally Master Chief, who got us all interested in this story? What is limiting you in that universe from stretching his journey out indefinitely? Like, because it's like people get in cryo sleep, we're dealing with deep space. It feels like a very modern and sort of woke intervention to say, like, oh,
Well,
we're going to introduce like a team now and we're going to gradually phase out Master Chief. It's more like you could have built this like the Alien series, where it's like, oh, they wake up in hyperspace and it's been 200 years. It's like you could just, like, Master Chief can go anywhere and do anything and be any, like,
so
he's got so
why
much
divert
potential.
off the whole? Why divert off the?
Well, why try to say he's aging out? Like, oh, Master Chief by now he would be like 55. It's like, fuck that, dude. We don't care about that. Like, Master Chief, maybe he's got some serum, some fucking thing. Like, maybe it's something about him as a Spartan where he doesn't age. Like, let's introduce a fucking
I have a
I'm not
good
saying
question
vampire,
for
but
you.
like, go ahead.
So earlier we were talking about kind of the state of the world, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you mentioned Civil War.
Yeah.
I wanted to really tap in on that, and I didn't get a chance to because we somehow diverted into a totally different. I think we went to Halo, but
Which is not a bad thing.
so we're gonna segue from Halo, because I feel like Halo is relevant somehow because I'm a gamer, but
Yeah.
I it's still been in my head because I know you have great thoughts on this, and that's why I kind of want to get into it or want to ask you.
Maybe
Because
not.
you mentioned Civil War, so with I know for the simple fact that you mentioned Civil War, I know you've been looking into a lot of different conspiracy theories or whatever you want to call them, but you've been looking into that because I've read it, I've seen it, I've considered it, I agree with some of it. So like, kind of like what do you think? Like, what do you think of the whole like even and this can be debatable, but like you've got the Charlie Kirk assassination, and you've also got a lot of conspiracy theories behind like, was it government plot? Was it this? Was it that? Was it this civil war to, divide people? Like, what is going on behind the scenes, honestly?
That's a good
What have you
question.
read? Because I know have you looked into it or no?
Well, I've looked into everything. I mean, but it's like what you retain and what you. I mean, like these. I'm not saying everything, like all the data,
Right.
but like just the
And
cursory
and it's
glance.
just to say, I don't actually support that the whole assassination thing. I don't celebrate it. I don't like it. I mean, that's sickening to me. But I mean, I mean, there are other things to be considered. Like, but I do come from like I'm very much like a skeptic, right? So when I'm coming from that viewpoint of conspiracy theorists, and it's like, oh, it was the government. They did this, they did that. It's like, okay, sure, all well and good, but at the same time, is the government really going to have? And there's another argument for this, but then you can make another argument after this. So to me, it's irrelevant. And in my mind, this is what sticks and makes most sense to me. Is the government really going to assassinate um, Charlie Kirk? Like, was that in their intent? And not only that, like, so you're telling me the government sat there and said, hey, you know what? He's becoming too much for one side. Let's assassinate him. Let's make it look really sloppy. Let's make it look really amateurish. So then we have 1,000 questions that have to be answered, and we can't answer any of them. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like if the government, and maybe this is me watching too many assassin movies, or maybe this is me watching too much like whatever, but like I feel like if the government is actually going to do an assassination attempt, it's not going to look sloppy. There's
Well,
going to be
yeah.
there's going to be a scapegoat. There's going to be more than one person that's involved. It's going to be
Well,
suspected.
yeah.
With no, let
Exactly.
me finish though. With
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
case though, so so let's say it's a government assassination. So you're telling me that the government's going to have some random person be we'll call him a scapegoat or be whatever. You're going to tell me that they're going to have some random person go in and say, hey, I'm going to go assassinate Charlie Kirk on this day from 200 yards away. And I think the issue with that is where my issue comes from is that a lot of people are like, oh, 200 yards, he did this, that's got to be I've seen this, it's got to be a professional. And it's like, I live in Park Rapids, Minnesota. There are 12-year-old and 11-year-old kids, including myself, who can go and shoot a deer from 200 yards. That's not far, and it's not hard to learn. You could learn to do that, especially if you're a smart person and not like, handicapped, that you could learn to do that
Yeah.
within a day, within a few hours. You could practice that and you could do it, and you can go out and you could initiate it. So
That's true.
why would the government hire somebody so inexperienced and make it look so sloppy to leave so many questions unanswered? If the government was going to do it, that guy would have been included, but he wouldn't have been one to take the shot. The dude who was going to take the shot would have been a professional assassin, and he would have been a mile or more out, and he would have taken the shot, and it probably would have been more accurate, and he would have gotten away, and then this dude would have fallen down as a scapegoat. Instead, it's become, oh, this guy did it. It's a government that did it, and it was a really accurate shot. It's like, no, because it's not an accurate shot, because if you're going for a kill, you're not shooting somebody anywhere below the head.
All right. May I respond?
Yes, I'm waiting.
First of all, we don't know what accurate means because some people have said,
That's not true though.
no,
We
no, no,
do
but
know
hold
what
on,
accurate.
hold on, because they have said, I have seen things that,
Okay.
and again, I haven't verified this, so I'm
I
just,
know you've seen things. This is why I brought it up, because I know you
no, but
have a good.
I've seen things where it's like,
Mhm.
apparently the Mossad is famous for when they assassinate people, they aim for the neck.
Oh,
So what I'm saying is that
interesting.
if that's accurate to them, then that's accurate. You know, they did what
Right,
they
right.
wanted to do. Maybe they were like
Yep.
a few centimeters off from where maybe they were going for the middle of the throat and they got the edge of the throat, which is
Yep.
what I've
But
seen or heard.
just coming from somebody who's going to make a kill shot, you're you're not the thought process behind it is you're not aiming for the neck.
I
And
know,
so if they were
I
aiming for the head
understand.
and they
But what
were
I'm
off,
saying
they
is
hit
like
the
that's a
neck, vice
big
versa.
because that's conventional
But go ahead.
wisdom. But that's conventional wisdom. So what I'm saying,
And that's
no, but hold on,
that's
hold on, hold on, hold
but
on.
that's the
No,
argument.
but
That's the whole argument that I was saying.
no,
That's the
no,
whole
no,
argument
no,
that I was going to argue myself with, though. Is that,
exactly.
oh well,
But
okay, go ahead.
think about Mossad if they're trying to do psychological warfare on even other intelligence agencies, where it's like they get a reputation for when they take somebody out, there's a signature because it's like we're so accurate that when we aim for this spot, we're gonna get it. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like so,
but
like
okay,
that they're
if a
doing it to
government,
send a message because it challenges conventional wisdom.
okay,
Even
sure,
in
challenge conventional wisdom,
no, but I'm
but
saying
that's
that's why they do it because it sends a stronger message. I mean, I'm
right.
just saying
But at the same time, it's
if
like
they do. And
I know, but
I
okay,
just threw out Mossad because that's one
yeah, I
theory,
know,
but I don't even think that's the
but let's
case.
think here. The government's doing it. All right, let's say
Yeah.
the government is doing it. Let's just say it was.
But what
Let's say
is
it
the
was Trump.
government?
Let-
I don't think no, but it's yeah,
It's
but
you know
hold
what
on.
it is. We know
Rogue
what it is.
agencies.
Hey,
No,
let's go
but
back to the wrestling times. What is it? It's the NWO, baby.
yeah, but I'm saying okay, yeah, it's yeah, but whatever, exactly. But I'm saying that there even if we take a more a conventional stance about what the government is and how it operates, we have tons and tons of examples of rogue elements doing things. So it's like okay, if it's the FBI, no, say like let's say it's a coordination between one team in the FBI and one team in the CIA, and then Trump knows nothing about it, but it's still coming from the government. That's also a possibility. Like
Mhm.
we have to consider that. Like
True,
we might be
true.
dealing with a world where it's not so much big grand conspiracies as
Okay, so
little power groups that get together and they form their little clique
right,
and then they go we're going to do something and then
right.
here's the thing because it's coming from these little rogue agents in the government, the
Yeah,
main government like Trump and the people that are not doing
right.
that shit they
They get the
no, but I'm
blame
saying,
for it.
but they also have an incentive to cover it up because they're like, it would make
Right.
us look like
Yes,
we don't
they
have
have to.
control. You
Exactly.
see what I'm saying? So we don't have to
Okay, well,
assume that.
I get what you're saying, but that's all too much. We're thinking government. We
No,
know
it's not.
government is smart. We
Yeah,
understand
but
it, right?
government is many things. It's many agencies. It's
That's
many
what I'm
people,
saying,
and
though.
they're
But
all
okay,
competing and they're doing
so
things.
what, the biggest question though that arises from it, because I personally don't think it had anything to do with the government. Like from my own personal perspective, I
I
don't
might
think the
not either,
government.
but like the thing is, like if it's one, like Clinton, let me just say, what if it's okay? Let's put it this way: what if you got a rogue little FBI unit or CIA unit that's like
Sure, fair enough. Yeah,
four or five people?
yeah,
Because
that's
if
fine.
one like let's take the official story, if one random jackass can do this, then five trained CIA people can do something like this, right?
Okay,
Obviously, they can do this and
okay,
also manipulate the perception of the event. But I'm
okay,
saying,
but
like, no, no, hold on. If it turns out that it's five or six, like, rogue, autonomous CIA agents,
okay.
um, do you even call that the government? That's the thing.
No,
Like in my mind,
you wouldn't.
no, but that's what I'm saying. Like, so when you say I don't think the government did it, I would probably say, yeah, I agree, but that doesn't mean that elements within the government didn't do it. That doesn't mean, you
Well,
know what I'm
right,
saying? Like, we have to be careful about that
but
because
even
it
then,
swallows that
no.
whole category.
Well, you're right. You're right, and that is proves without saying that. Yes, that is. I don't need to even elaborate on it. That you sum that up. Yeah, you are correct in that. But at the same time, like, let's say it even wasn't like, let's say it wasn't the government, right? Like FBI, CIA,
And
DEA,
not even the whole, but I'm
what
saying
have
not
you.
even the whole agency, just a
No,
unit.
right. I know what you're saying. Like us, it could even be in agents within who aren't even anything, right? Like it could be not even labelized as anything, and they're still in the agency, right? Or they're still within some. So you could
Yeah.
You could limit it, and you can go down and down and down the rabbit hole with that. But
Yeah, you
what I'm
can.
saying
Yes.
is like what happens with that is okay. So like, how, first of all, like, was this guy really established with that? Because according to like the records and all this other stuff, he had no really. He was a computer engineer, or was he? He was an engineer. I want to say it was an engineer of some sort. I can't remember. It was computer. It was some sort of engineer for the background for the guy who did this. I can't remember what engineer. But he was an engineer of some sort. I want to say it was computer engineering at
Yeah.
the school that Charlie Kirk was assassinated at. That's what he went to school there for some
Yeah.
sort of engineering. And so he was a smart dude, right?
Yeah.
But it's like, so did this guy really get involved with some sort of side agency who was part of the government, that they were rogue and they did this? But, and at the same time, like, if that's going to happen, if I feel like if somebody's going to do that, say somebody like me or anybody in the world, right? Like, and they have this warped view and they want to go out and they want to assassinate somebody, right? Like, you're going to have a much more, like, you're going to have a hell of a lot more game plan than what this guy had. Like, there was no game plan behind this, really. Like, when you think about it, like, there was nothing planned out. Like, and if it was going to be by some sort of even side agency or sub government or whatever you want to call it, right? Like, if it was supposed to be some sort of semi-professional hit, like, there's going to be some sort of like professionalism to it. And to me, there was nothing really professional about it. Like, it was in the middle of the day. Granted, okay, that can happen, you know, with anybody and anywhere for anything. But it's like it's the middle of the day. The dude was, I mean, many videos even found the dude sitting on a roof, like he was seen multiple times.
Yeah.
His car was there for many hours, which wasn't discovered until later, which can also this can lead into a whole nother issue. Like, why was this car discovered and why wasn't it fucking known about 3 days until 3 days later? Like, there's a lot of weird things that happen. So I get both sides of the whole thing, but like, I feel like at the same time, with all that being said and all the shit that you can explain that you know and do not know, like, it just goes to show like how sloppy it really was. So if it really was,
Well,
even
but
if it was a side government or sub government or whatever you want to classify it as, like, don't you think there would be a little more professionalism behind it? And you can't, and don't counter argument me with the fact that, well, maybe they wanted to make it look that way so nobody suspected it to be that, because then that's like what I said. But then it gets into a whole nother rabbit hole of stuff.
well, okay. Let's take the rabbit hole for a second. Instead of going, no, but hold on. Instead of going,
Why
no, but
you
hold
gotta
on.
go into the okay?
Because
No,
that's the
fair enough.
only out here. But just
Yeah.
but no, but hold
Okay.
on. Reframe it a little bit.
Okay.
Instead of it being like, oh, they wanted it to be sloppy. Like, what did you say? They wanted it to be sloppy to,
To make it look like, oh, it wasn't government.
right.
That's what I basically I think what I was saying.
But the thing is that the zeitgeist is primed to, like, okay, if I do a song.
Okay, you keep. What is zeitgeist? Like, I get it.
Like
what is
the
what are you
general
referring to it?
the general feeling that you're sensing from the public, the
Okay.
the spirit of the times.
Yeah. Okay. So all
Um,
right. Now okay. I just wanted to clarify.
no, it's a good one. Fuck.
Oh no, Cole. Spirit of the
No,
time.
but
The general consensus of the zeitgeist. The Charlie Kirk assassination. It's not the government. Maybe it's something else. Where are we at? That's what we're talking about. I know, dude. You had something good.
it was a point. Ah,
No.
hold on.
Fucking apples, bro. Swear to God.
I can't. If it goes too far in another direction, it. What was it?
That's not it. Zeitgeist, Charlie Kirk, government,
Well, I just think, like, okay,
rabbit hole. You were digging into the rabbit hole that
yes,
subdivision.
But I'm saying, like, there is a scenario in which they do things like let's say you have even a larger conspiracy, let's say
Sure.
that they do things that are meant to elicit a certain sort of response. So it's like,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
but so it's like it's not far fetched to
Well,
think
you and
like
I.
if, but of course, if they're gonna do something, like let's just say like you and I are planning and we're in the government.
This is a very you got to think of this though on the grand scale. Like this is a Martin Luther King type of assassination.
Exactly, exactly. But that's why you want to make it have basically like okay, the fact that it's even as weird as it is
Yes.
already is suspicious because it actually
Right.
shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Like like the fact that like the
Well,
story.
you know what? You know
No,
what?
but hold on, the
No,
story on
let
its
me
own is like
rebuttal.
you make a good point about the story being like. Yeah, the guy, the main story is like, oh, actually didn't prepare as much as a professional would, and it was sloppy. But there's also a bunch of other stuff like why does the only footage that we have, even though that camera was trained on the spot where he was, why don't we have the footage where he's actually sitting there and he makes the shot? We only like, and we know that the FBI
Okay,
got that footage.
this is this is true, but you've got to remember though.
I'm just
Okay,
saying, like,
you
why? It's just, it's
no.
so
Well,
easy
let
for
me
that to be.
here because this is what we're used to. This is what you've been. This is what people have been brainwashed to think that everything that happens and goes on, it's like Hollywood movie. Like you
No,
see a
no, I'm not
movie,
saying
if
that.
you see, yeah, but if you see a movie, you're gonna see where he took the shot. You're gonna see where he took the shot from. You're gonna see why. You're gonna see where. You're gonna see when. You're gonna see everything. And so when
No,
it
no, no,
happens,
no,
right?
no.
I think
I reject
I
this
think it's
premise.
okay.
I know I
Shit.
reject it only on the point. It's a good premise, but it's like it doesn't address my point, which is that there's a basic
I
security
get
camera. No, I'm
I
saying
get what
there's literally a camera that we know like the same footage, the same
okay,
camera.
listen though, listen.
It shows the exact spot, but they only start the footage when he's running
No,
away or
well,
whatever.
I didn't see that footage though. So I don't know
No,
what
but
footage. The only
no, but
footage I've seen is the
they
footage
have
that was from
rooftop.
was yeah, from people who were recording.
No, no, no. There's a security camera that was on a parking garage behind the school building, and the FBI released this. It's on their website. They released this thing where it's like a fisheye, so it captures the entire
Yep,
roof
I
and
get
where
it.
he
Yep,
jumped down. So if you ever saw any footage where he was like jumping down,
yep,
that was
yep.
from that same camera, except they zoomed in
Okay.
on that part just so you could see that, right?
Yeah, I get that.
The thing
Okay.
is
So what's your point?
the officially released FBI thing, the footage starts like like at least I mean maybe less than a minute, but it's like the footage starts where he's running on the roof after he's done the assassination. In other words, they didn't like they had a view of the roof and they had this footage that is basically like an ongoing. It's just recording, and
Mm-hmm.
they chose to cut and release a segment that never shows that exact guy who's running actually doing, sitting there like prone. It would be him from behind, so you would see him in a prone position. You'd be looking at the bottom of his feet while he's laying flat. We don't see that. And I'm just saying that like that's not about like, oh, I don't trust the government, I don't trust what they put out. It's more like we know that you have the footage. Why would you not just throw the whole thing on there? Like we want to see how he got up there.
Well,
We want to see like when he was in pro. You start it with this whole
okay.
dramatic moment where it's already
Well, let's.
after he killed
Well,
him.
right. So they're selling the point that okay, this is here. This is where they're trying to sell the point that this is where the shot was taken from. All right.
Yeah.
They're not necessarily trying to prove the point that this is the dude that took the shot, but chances are it's most likely this guy, right? And then you've also got to
It
think
is,
about the
but
fact
why
that
would you cut it like that?
wait, hold on. So
I'm
that's
saying
the
I
part
agree with you, but
that's the part I missed. So where did they cut it at? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
I'm saying you can go on YouTube and you can find like you won't find anything where they have the full video. I'm just saying like
No,
they
I know that. I know that.
okay,
So
let's
what?
imagine that he's laying there and he takes the shot.
Yeah. Okay.
And then we imagine that he gets up, folds up his gun, somehow hides it
Where am I looking? Where am I looking at though? What perspective am I getting it from?
from
According to
behind.
your video, so
Like
I'm
if
behind him,
Charlie Kirk is in front of him, right? So
right? And
you're
I'm but
looking you're
the
way
camera's
behind.
seeing from behind the shooter.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's
Okay.
looking at the building that he was on top of from
Yep.
behind.
Yep.
And we can
I'm
also
busy.
see in the same footage, we can see where he jumps down off the roof, like, and gets onto the grass and then starts running and walking. On the far
Okay.
right, you see him jump down from the
Okay.
roof. On the
So
far
does he
left,
drop down to another building, or does he drop down on the right from the same building that he was stationed on before he shot?
same building he was stationed on.
Okay, so there's a ladder of some sort that he was able
No,
to get up on.
yeah, maybe we don't see it. We never see it, and we
Well,
don't
if
see
he
any.
got down from that same building, there had to have been a way to get up it. Because
Exactly,
if
but
he was
we
able,
don't have that. We don't have that footage,
okay,
and
we
that doesn't
really
make
don't.
sense. No, it's not out there. Nobody has any footage of the guy getting up there or being up there and shooting, but we have the footage that the FBI released from that camera from behind, which should have a
Okay,
view
well,
of the
that's all fair though, but
kills.
we also do have footage though from random TikTokers or random people
Yeah, yeah.
who did notice a person on a roof. Is
Yes,
that the same roof and
yes,
the same person?
there was a shooter on the roof, definitely. But I'm just saying, like,
So they do have it from different perspectives. So and okay, so this probably proves your
I don't
point
even
then
know
even
what I'm
more.
saying. I
No,
don't even know
this
what I'm
probably
saying.
proves. No, I get what you're saying. I
Oh.
understand where you're going with this, but this maybe even proves your point even more because they do have footage of him even before he's on the roof. He's in the high school and he's walking up a pair of stairs, and they have footage of that for my camera.
Oh
But you're
yeah, I saw
telling me,
that. But I thought that
yeah,
was at the subway or something. It didn't look
I
like it
don't.
was.
Maybe it
Maybe
was.
maybe it is in
I
the
don't
school.
know. I didn't.
You're
I
right.
it
No,
looks
I
like
didn't
it was
know.
a school. I
It
don't know.
probably was a school. It
Somebody
probably
correct
was.
me, but um,
I don't
but
know either.
to say that though, like, I mean, sure, okay, so they don't have. You could give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe there wasn't a camera stationed in an area to show somebody going up.
No, no, no. But what I'm saying is, forget the going up for a second. They
Okay,
have the same camera that they show where they have footage where he's running on the roof and then jumping down. That camera has a view of where he would have been prone and shooting, but they cut it after he actually made the shot. So they
okay,
cut the
well,
fucking.
right, but why is it? What does that have to do with anything then? Because
Well, because
I just want to hear your.
we don't know if the guy on the roof who jumped down is actually the same guy who made the shot or what he is. We don't know.
Okay, fair enough. But maybe they're just going based off of okay. So they have this footage. The guy's on the roof. They obviously don't need to show the fact that he got on the roof and did this. I get
But
where that's
Clinton,
where the
no, but
conspiracy
I'm
theory
saying
comes in though.
but there's been backlash on this, and the Trump administration always responds to backlash from the public. There's been
Yeah.
backlash on the way the FBI has released things and treated this, such that it would be very easy for them to just go like, okay, yeah, that's why we cut it, but here's the full video. But they still haven't done that. So that by itself is a little bit weird. Like, again, I don't really have an opinion on this one way or the other. I'm just trying to point out the fact that, like, these things can be conspiracies and be very counterintuitive. Like,
Hmm.
at the in the end of the day, if you take a big zoom back, if you look at the whole thing, it's so weird. And I think I'm actually agreeing with you in a lot of ways. I think what I'm trying to say is, like, in a sense, uh, I, I actually think you're right. But if you're gonna, like, the whole thing just looks too weird. Like, when things look that weird overall, like, most things don't look that weird, I don't think. Like, most things, it's like
Well,
you could look up any random person who's like a person who's been
well,
murdered or
sure.
whatever, and you look at the story and it's like, oh, 5 people saw this happen,
Yeah,
this happened.
but then again, you're looking at a news story and you're looking at somebody who is not to demean them or say anything, but they're an a normal person, right? This guy murdered his wife. This person killed this person, whatever, and it goes on and on. It's in the news. This one, though, you've got to remember is an escalated kill because he was a prominent person within um part of the government. Like he was he was very much a prominent person in as a political figure, like you
Yeah.
stated before. He
And
was
he had influence even with
well,
politicians
yeah, he
and
was
the
a very
president,
very much a
technically.
big young influencer. So I like I can see like the conspiracy theory sides of it, but at the same time, it's like, I mean, after everything is said and done, and I mean, you have amateur videos on TikTok showing the same dude on the roof.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I,
Well, but
and
again, though, it's
suppositions.
but the thing is like, but you're
Like,
I
if you're
think.
gonna do this, though, if you're gonna do this, why make it look so sloppy?
But how,
That's my skeptic side.
I know,
So
but that's
convince
but that.
me, convince me otherwise. Why you're gonna make something so profound look so sloppy?
My response to that would be, I don't know how you can make a murder not look sloppy in the year 2025. I mean, like it's gonna look sloppy no matter
You
what you
can't
do
argue
because
that though, because I know
no, but
I
the
know
odds are
plenty about
so
this stuff. I get how it
I
works.
know, but I'm saying this, the odds are so stacked against you that I guess what I've been trying to say this whole time is like, what you, okay,
Yeah,
no,
but
this
at
is
the
what I've been
same
trying to say,
time,
but
you're
Clinton, you gotta
thinking
let me
though, like,
finish.
yeah,
No, 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 no,
okay,
no,
let me finish though.
no, 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 but you
Technology is
gotta let
so
me
okay.
finish.
Go for it. I'm sorry. Go for it.
Sometimes when things
I love
look
you, Cole.
sloppy,
What is on my screen?
I don't know, but there's times where like for artistic reasons I make things more noisy or more sloppy or whatever as part of the thing.
Oh, okay. Okay. I get it. Yeah, go on. Keep going.
No,
I
no,
like this. No, I like this. Keep going.
I'm just saying like sometimes there's a storytelling element even to this like
Yeah, but do you do you
no, but I'm just
it
saying like because of course like here's what I think you mentioned early on that I wanted to respond to, which I think is very true. I
okay.
also agree, like so. I think what you're not realizing is that our views are in a weird way in congruence, which is
I get
to
it. No,
say
I
no. But
realize.
I'm
I know
saying
what
like
you're saying.
because if somebody really wanted to, like if somebody from the government as such
Right.
really wanted to take out Charlie Kirk,
Kirk.
they
Yeah.
could just literally like put a little drop of something in his tea. Some agent could walk by. So
And it'd
what?
be then and done.
But here's what I'm saying. Since we know that, that still doesn't mean that like those agencies like or somebody who's like, well, we have a thing, we're gonna do this because it would be this da 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 da. We don't know. Let's just assume for a second. There's also a thing where they're like, well, we could just drop a thing into his tea, but also we could make a big spectacle about it. We could also make a big
Then
show.
there here comes the Civil War.
Yeah, exactly. But that's what I'm saying. I'm saying like just
That's
because
what this
something,
all leads into, though, which was the
but
whole
bro,
basis of what I asked you about. I love it.
just because something looks sloppy does not mean it was not on purpose.
I know, but that I also stated that before I even. But then you get into
I
the
know.
fact that okay, they make it look sloppy on purpose so it doesn't seem so obvious.
No, but I'm
But
not
at the
saying
same,
be no, I don't even know the reason. You're
I
assuming a reason. I'm
neither
not
one of us
saying
know that.
I
I'm
know,
not assuming. I'm
but
just basing it. You know what I'm
okay,
trying to do is I'm trying to get away from. I'm trying to get away from some sort of Hollywood facade
yeah, but I think
where
that's a good
people
thing.
think that oh okay well he did this and he it could because they get in because a lot of the conspiracy theories you see it's like it's because of um it's the theories that you see it's because of kind of how sloppy it was and it begs many questions. So I mean then again then you present the argument of well obviously it was a government because they made it look like they made it look like it's a total conspiracy theory. So it's like it's one of those things that you can never figure out, and it's going to be one of those things where it was the same thing as like the JFK assassination, where they're never going to find out who the shooter really was. And I think that's where it's going to stand as far as the test of time, because when you read it in history books, um, there's not going to be any. Oh, hold on, I don't want to continue because I feel like you have something pressing to
No,
rebuttal
no,
with me.
no. I'm just thinking I mean, I'm listening to what you're
Okay,
saying and
okay, so I
processing it.
can continue then.
Yeah, please.
Okay, so I just feel like it's going to go down in history as well, wow, this is really going to throw my topic of conversation off actually, because now I'm going to get my own conspiracy head because here we go.
Okay, let's hear it.
Um, this is going to go down in history. This is extremely important. This is a very good point to make. This is going to go down in history as a turning point in the history of the United States. And I don't mean that, I don't take that lightly, because JFK, I wouldn't even necessarily continue or consider a turning point. I would view more Martin Luther King as a turning point. And just based on the
I
state of the
disagree, but we can
wait,
go over
wait,
that later.
but yeah, but just based on the state of the
Just about
United
that
States,
particular point. Yeah, go ahead.
which one, Luther King or JFK?
JFK not being a turning
Then
point.
you're
But go ahead.
probably right, because I know nothing about it. So
Okay,
I do
okay, go on.
apologize for
No,
anybody.
but don't apologize. Go on.
But I just view as like JFK, because it's such a conspiracy theory, and he was already such a prominent figure. Granted, yes, maybe it was a turning point, but then you have Martin Luther King, who in my mind is even bigger than JFK in terms of what you learned in school. At least that's what they made it out to be.
I mean, as a
And then now
cultural
you have
figure, yes.
yeah, and now you have Charlie Kirk, who was very much a cultural figure.
Yeah.
With the way the state of the USA is now, and the assassination of somebody who is from his viewpoint, and he's assassinated for it, and the fact that the name of his whole organization is Turning Point, kind of has a lot of questions to be answered now.
Well, then you start to get into more like metaphysical
I'm getting into real
synchronicities.
conspiracy shit.
Yeah.
Did he? No, I got to start now. Here, I got to go against everything I just said.
Jesus
Did he
Christ.
present himself as a fucking martyr?
He might have.
Holy shit.
He might
This
have.
could
I don't
run
know.
deeper than anybody ever knows, dude.
Well, here's the thing. Yeah, and also like this is funny because this is where like I back off a little bit.
His name, the whole name of his organization is Turning Point USA. Let's put two and two together. Turning
Okay,
Point,
listen.
I'm assassinated, I'm a huge political influencer, and now I'm dead from a leftist radical person. And that's the whole battle. And now here the Civil War presents.
But bro,
Holy shit. It gets
but
deep.
Clinton,
That's deep. What?
Fuck
Am I
off.
getting too deep, right?
No, but it's more like
Am I getting too Cole Randall on this, or what?
you can also look at it from a standpoint of if you were Charlie Kirk and you had an organization where you were like, man, we really got to turn the corner, like, things got to change.
I
And then
wouldn't
you're
want to
like,
die.
No, but you would say to yourself like, hey, what's a good name for our organization? You'd be like, man, this is going to be a big turning point, like.
Yeah, but can we not both agree? Like, I get what you're saying, and yours is makes way more sense than mine. But you're gonna say, yeah, okay. But I mean, can we not agree that it's a little coincidental?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but your point makes sense. Mine doesn't. But
no, but don't be so fucking self-effacing. Your point does make sense. Your point does make sense,
but that's
it's
the
reasonable.
fucking coincidence. How coincidental is it that the name he could have started that organization as a young person, not knowing this and growing and
with
becoming some
guy.
Influential person. And he could have started it as feeling like himself as a fucking martyr. And then he finally executed what he started.
So sort of like a law of attraction kind of like negative side.
Yeah, not even in a negative way, but not even
Yeah,
that.
but it is. Like, it's more like a negative law of attraction.
Maybe he saw himself as a god when he started that, and he martyred himself because he spoke. I can't even get into it. This brings up too many offensive, controversial topics. Because if you get into it, he was a man of God, and if we know of Jesus Christ, he is a martyr for God. And if you go from there, then you have Charlie Kirk, who was a conservative, who was this, who was that, who was everything that he represented, but he was very much a man of faith and a man of God. And now he martyrs himself to represent the side. Like, dude.
Yeah.
This could have.
But here's the thing. That you're.
It's huge. Like,
but here's the thing. This is also like then you have to take a step back.
I'm getting off on a crazy fucking rant, though.
Yeah, but you also then have to go back and step back and say, oh, is this what I'm supposed to feel about this?
Yeah, but you can't present that.
You see
because
what I'm
that's a
saying? No,
manipulate.
no, 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 no.
It's manipulative, though.
No, 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 no,
Fool.
no, no, it's not because that's how I look at these things. That's why I'm like, I can
Yeah,
talk about every
okay, but it
scenario because
is
I'm
though
like,
because you
but I
know
agree. No,
now,
but
Clint.
can I just tell you,
Because you
in all
presented
honesty,
this when I was on a subject of this, and then you said, "Well, how are you supposed to look at it?" And then all of a sudden, it brings up these feelings of emotion based
yeah,
on how I'm feeling
fair
at that
enough.
present time. So,
Yeah,
but
and fair
dude,
enough.
see, that's why I like having you as a person who is
But
like the
yes,
other me.
and same. But like just think about what I'm actually saying. I'm not saying that I believe that is the
No, I
case.
know.
I'm just saying that like we have to consider it. And then once you actually allow yourself to consider that, even though you're like,
Yeah.
oh God, that's manipulative and crazy.
Well, that's what
Once
just happened,
But
though.
I'm just saying, once you allow yourself to consider that, and then you sort of like, you put it back in the blender of everything else you've been thinking,
Are you
it's
trying to
like,
manipulate me right now?
no, I'm just saying that, like, I'm not. I guess I am on some level because I'm trying to convince you,
Yeah,
but
you fucker.
what's the difference between convince and manipulate? I don't know. I mean, I don't think I'm trying to manipulate you because
Okay,
I don't have an
do you know the
intention.
difference? I can tell you the difference.
Tell me the difference. I mean, I
The
already think
difference between the difference between convince and manipulate is if you're trying to convince somebody, you're doing it out of moral standards. If you're trying to
yeah,
manipulate somebody, you're doing it out of a motive with some sort of you're doing it with a motive to harm the other person.
that's a very good definition, actually. Yeah, shit. That's one for the fucking books, dude. Well
Is
said.
it?
I think yeah.
Thank
Fuck
you.
yeah, dude.
Appreciate it.
No, seriously, like that's like clip that, send it to the floor. You know what I'm saying?
Oh shit. Hey, dang, gonna brush dirt off my shoulders real quick. Shit.
I mean, no, that's a very
Appreciate
good
it.
point. That's a very good
Are
point,
you
dude.
trying to manipulate me even more so now?
I forgot what we were even talking about before that, but I agree with that point you
I
just
don't
made.
remember, bro.
Just
We're talking about
basically,
Charlie Kirk assassination.
just basically this,
No, I
okay?
get you. We're
Like
back
like
on track now.
like so I'm always suspicious. I guess what I'm trying to say is like I put that
I
onto
know.
you, but it's because every time I find myself, and this is why I think like
Questioning things.
no, but it's more like when I'm
So
acting
here's
as
can I
no
can I
hold
start
no
before you
no no no
start?
no you can't because I'll
So you
forget.
know where I'm coming from? Because you know the difference between you and I. Can I?
Uh, no, I
Okay,
gotta
go.
finish. I gotta at
All
least
right,
get
all
this
right, all
point
right,
out.
all right. Fair enough. Go.
When I'm working as, and I don't want to say this in like a way that you like.
You're fine. Just say it. I don't care.
If I'm making music or something, if I'm
Yes.
working as what I consider an artist, okay,
Yes.
my whole philosophy is that it's not even really a philosophy. It's like to really do it right, you basically have to understand both sides of something. Like it has to be like I understand why women feel oppressed, but I also understand why men are turning into incels and blah blah blah. Like it's like you have to
Yes.
embody both realities at the same time.
Yes. That
So
that
my
makes sense to me.
so
I
what
get
I'm
that.
saying
I get
is
that.
so my perspective on these like conspiracy things is like I'm going to have a critical view and I'm not going to take people's word for it. That includes the government, that also includes
Well, that means
random,
you're a skeptic.
but I'm saying that includes random weirdos on the internet. But at the
Yeah, but
same
that's
time,
good for you,
but
though.
on the same time like I have to figure out a heretic where I'm like okay, for me, this is weird, and I'm not going to deny the reality that
Yes.
it's weird, but I'm not going to make an
Okay.
assumption and say like,
But
"Oh, I'm going to tell you,
then again,
Clinton,
like,
it's the Jews or it's the whatever." It's more like
right, right.
I'm just going to say like I think it's weird, but I actually am not saying it was the government, but I'm also trying to point out
Yeah.
like it could be elements within the government, it could
Sure.
be all these kind of things, and that's why I'm sort of
Yeah.
agnostic about this stuff, but I'm also interested in it.
Yeah. Well, no,
But I
that
don't
that
I
that
don't think we
no,
have to take a strong stance on this,
no,
It's
no.
just
You're right. You're right. No, I agree. I agree with that. I think that because I think you from you know me, and I'm gonna base my reaction and like I'll know if you really truly knew me based off this question from your facial reaction. So be ready.
all
You
right.
know me as very much a skeptic person.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I
I've
do.
always very much been a skeptic. You think,
I
right?
no,
Like,
but we I don't think we would be friends if you weren't a skeptic. You see what I'm saying? Because you would be Colton Storseth if you weren't a skeptic. That's the thing. No,
fuck
and I'm not.
you.
No, but I'm not. But I mean, like, think about it this way: Colton Storseth is a smart guy. He knows a lot. He's like intelligent, blah blah blah. But he's not a skeptic. And I'm not saying you would literally be like that, but I'm just saying like
I know, but
that's a guy who's like, you know, you're, and it's a good example for you
stuck
because you
in
actually,
his ways and isn't
yeah,
willing
yeah,
or able to accept
exactly.
other sorts of
And you've
thoughts
never
or
been like that.
theories
And
or
dude, you have like conquered the fucking, like, I mean, if there was anybody that you should just take as an authority, it would have been your grandpa. Like the fact that you disagreed with that guy about stuff is like, oh man, that's a free thinker. Because Dean is a forceful
well,
person.
you know,
I mean, maybe
you know
he's a
what?
nice guy. I
You
don't
know
mean
what?
it like that, but
I'm gonna start here, and I'm
yeah,
not gonna float your boat too much, but I'm gonna float it anyways,
no,
a
no.
little bit, just not as much as you'd like. All right, so don't get all narcissistic about this, because I know exactly
Maybe
who
I
you
should,
are and how you are. I know
maybe I
exactly
should
who
bite
you
into
are.
this.
Yeah, I know exactly who you are and how you are, and don't tell me any differently.
Okay,
You and I are
I'll
like
accept
two
that.
peas in a pod. We share the same brain, just in two completely different ways, which doesn't even make sense. Do you understand how fucked up that is? Do you understand? Like you and I think in so many similar ways, but at the same time we have so many different morals and values that we think in a completely different way. And that's an important thing to take in as an individual in life if you
Yeah,
can realize
yeah,
that.
yeah.
But
Especially if you think that people who disagree with you are evil or horrible or whatever. It's
because
like,
you can't live that way. If you live that way your whole life, you're a miserable person. Like if you want to spend your life hating somebody because they don't agree with you, then well, so be it. Whatever. You know, I've met people like that, and it's like, well, you know what? Go ahead, live your life like that.
but you
Like
know what's funny
if
is the people that I like to hang out with people honestly, where it's like, there's gonna be a little bit of disagreement.
you like to hang out with people, you like to engage with people that have a discrepancy with something that
Yeah,
you have a strong feeling in, but at the same time, you the reason you have that connection with them is because you're able to connect with them on a level that um, you're able to not necessarily convince them, but to make them think. You like to make people think, and you connect with people when you can make them think about something. Like you don't care if they're your friend or not. You don't care if they agree with you. Your whole objective as a person is to make them think, and that's what you get rewarded from, regardless of whether they agree with you or not.
damn,
I
shit,
feel like
shit. That's
is that deep?
I feel vulnerable right now. That's interesting. That's actually not a bad point. Shit, that's interesting.
Don't don't fucking
That's a
don't
good
fucking
point, man.
gaslight me here, fucker.
No, I swear to God, that's actually like, yeah, that's pretty intense, actually. That's a good point,
Is
dude.
it?
Well, it's
Fuck you.
intense. No, but it's intense in the sense like it is a layer of like
I know.
you just described like a very strong layer of like how I make choices. But it doesn't, you know, of course it leaves out the layer of sentimentality and
Bro, come on, can
nostalgia.
you
No, but and love,
what
you know what I'm saying? But like
yeah,
you just hit on a layer of my personality that is like pretty deep, and you know, it informs a lot of choices. Again, it doesn't necessarily mean that's how I feel in every situation, but it's like
right.
that's like a choice making personality that you just described. To put it, I don't know, I shouldn't use the word personality like it's a separate thing, but uh,
But
it's interesting. That's no, because everybody is multifaceted, right? Like
yeah.
you have you that is the way you are when you're
Okay,
only like
can
if
I
you
let
and
you in on it?
but if you and your sister are hanging out at wherever, like it's just you and Veronica, and you
Yeah,
guys are sitting there,
yeah,
you're not the exact same like personality.
right.
Even if you're authentic, you're just not the
Hmm.
same because you carry a bunch of different feelings and baggage and
Right.
projections and like
Can I let
future.
you know something though before you
Yeah,
end this?
yeah,
Her and
please.
I are very much the same in a lot of ways, actually.
I
You would
believe that.
love you know who we should get on? Veronica.
We should. I would love that.
No,
That'd be
no,
fun.
listen to me. That um I don't say this about a lot of people besides you and probably Veronica. and I'm being an all like fucking like blatant like thinnest layer honesty. Between you and Veronica, you two are the two people I probably trust the most with like sorts of viewpoints that I have and how I'm feeling. And if I were to ask you a personal question or ask Veronica a personal question and you gave me your perspective on it, I would take yours and Veronica's, I would take your guys's consideration more seriously than anybody else's in my entire life. Like that's how I feel about you guys because you are a brother to me, and I know we both
Same,
have
man.
layers. I know we both have layers.
Ogres have
And
layers, right? As Shrek would say.
I know fucking a you and your dad jokes, bro. Just make a dude make a new account with just dad jokes. God. All right, but
I mean,
fuck.
but no, but I'm saying it's
Dude, don't
poetic. No, but I'm saying it's
you
poetic because we're ogres. Like,
I mean, that's
like,
why I get it. Just stop. I get it. Nobody else is gonna get that unless they're 37. All right. But no, listen though, like no, I'm on a fucking real level here.
yeah, I was on a
Between
real
you
level.
and between yeah, I get it. Between you and Veronica, you are the two most influential people in my life.
I appreciate that.
Um,
I mean, I appreciate being
sometimes,
included in that. I really
well,
do.
you should be because you've been around me my whole life. Um,
More or
we've had
less.
we yeah, more or less, we've had discussions that no other friendship or brothers have ever probably had in their entire life.
Probably
And
no human beings on Earth, actually.
yeah, exactly. Don't gaslight yourself. Just get out of here with that. No, I'm being
Now I'm
no,
gaslighting myself.
no, on a serious level though.
Are you trying to manipulate me, man?
You're trying to gaslight me by making me think that I'm trying to manipulate you.
You're trying
No,
to manipulate me
wait.
by gaslighting me into manipulating
So,
myself.
okay,
Okay.
all right. I'm on
No,
a serious level right
I
now.
hear you, man. I
All
hear you, man.
gaslighting aside, all manipulation aside, like if you want to manipulate me, you can manipulate me. That would turn me on. If you want to do that, fucking do it. But my point is, right now, is that um, so
Me and
me and my sister,
Veronica.
me and
Yeah.
Veronica, yeah, have a very believe it or not, uh, we have very similar viewpoints, and we have a strong connection in certain things.
Yeah.
A
I
connection
can
that I have
imagine.
with her is a very much a similar connection that when I talk to you that I have with you. But but I have much more of a connection with you than anybody else that I've ever had in my entire life because we can connect on a very intellectual intelligence um, basis, right? So
Plus, we
when
have plenty
I'm
of weird shared experiences,
yeah,
which doesn't hurt.
exactly. Let's not tone this down, okay? I'm being very real raw with you right now.
Yeah.
From a friend perspective, like for you, Cole, like um, I know that there's probably a lot of things you struggle with, which is I feel like why you um like you have this need to like talk and reach out to me, and I love that because I can provide that for you, and that's something that uh I have that same feeling, and I don't get it from a lot of people, and I don't feel it, and I miss it. And so when I am able to talk to you and like express myself and like just interact with you, it's like it's really like an out of body experience for myself. Like I love being able to connect with you. Like back in the day when you were doing your Sweden thing and you're doing your music, like I was happy for you, but at the same time, yeah, I was kind of sad because it's like, man, what is Cole doing? I haven't heard from him in a while. And now that we've been able to connect on a weekly basis or, even on a monthly basis is okay with me. I don't care. Just being able to like communicate with you again and know that I have a friend, and it's not even a friend, dude. Like you're somebody in my life who's more than that than, you know, it's unexplainable. know, it's so I love being able to connect with you and like being able to share my thoughts because, dude, I don't know how many different girlfriends I had, and I can't talk like this to a woman. Like I can't sit there. And it's no offense on any women. I apologize. No offense on women, but I haven't had a lot of women who can connect with me in an intellectual basis. And not to say I'm smart by any means, because I'm very, very dumb in a lot of ways. But I'm very intellectual and intelligent in a lot of more ways. And like the only person I can fucking connect with is you when it comes to like just being able to like talk about like random shit and just like have thoughts and like put myself out there and like be vulnerable. And like I feel comfortable with that with you. And I hope, the feeling is mutual. I think it is.
Yeah, it is. It is.
And
It is.
I feel like I know it is because you've come to me with questions that you've had or that you've asked or just like certain things that you've told me about where I knew that you were feeling vulnerable at the time, where I never expected to hear from you because you've never come to me with those questions before. You asked me a few things before where it wasn't necessarily like but it was just certain things that I feel like to you would be personal, to me maybe not so much, just because I'm so close to you. But like, yeah, you've asked me certain things, and I've responded, and just lately you've been very much like more involved with me, and I don't know if that's like I don't know what that's about. I like to think that it's something that you're missing, and I provide that for you. And I just always want to be able to do that for you because I need it too. But I just want you to know that, bro, all day, every day, man, whatever you need, I'm always here as much as I can be. Like I ain't got a lot going on, but I'm always here, man. Like I know you got your own things going on and your own personal issues. I do too. I get it. But I just want to let you know that like whatever you have closest going on to you is like I'm there 100% to support you as like the best brother you could ever have or could hope to have.
Damn, dude.
Sorry,
Damn.
man.
Appreciate that,
I
man.
just want to let you know, man, I'm fucking there for you. I always have been.
Appreciate that, man.
And I'm one of those people who work on themselves. And I know when I was in my younger days and we had our falling outs and things like that, I didn't think of them very seriously. The older I get, the more
I mean, I
issue.
didn't either, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
At the time,
issue become
yeah.
to me. But taking responsibility for my actions, and remembering the things I said, and I remember them very vividly because it's something that has haunted me to this day about that, because I was so afraid of losing you as a best friend that's how much it affected me, because that's how much I appreciated you and respected you and liked you at that point in time. And like when you went off and did your Sweden thing and I didn't hear from you very often and all this stuff like that, that actually had a very huge mental effect on my personality. In terms of like, I don't know, I can't explain it. Not to put anything on you because it's nothing now, because we've connected and we've reconnected and it took some time, but I think we're finally back to the point where we can reconnect and it be normal. Like before, when we started talking, I think you can honestly admit, both you and I, that we're being real. Like when we first started talking, it was a little awkward. Do you not agree? It was different because we hadn't talked very much.
I mean, yeah, but also like, I mean, first of all, thank you for saying all that, but also at the same time,
Anytime, brother.
I mean,
You know what?
yeah, yes and
Yeah,
no,
yeah. Well, you
like
know what? My
it's
goal
also
in life.
circumstance. It's just circumstances. It's like if
Yeah,
I'm
I
in,
get it. Yeah, I
if
get it.
and
And
it
I
also,
knew, and I knew that though. Like I did take that against. I knew that,
but
and
I
it
gotta
was
tell
one
you,
of those.
I'm also at a phase in my life right now where it's
Can
like
I not?
I
Can I not raise
intentional
my hand right now?
no, but I've
I have
intentionally
to.
like
I
cut
have
off a
to.
lot of external
Yeah, I get
influences.
it. But and
Yeah.
that's what I realize, and that's what I know. Like I understand. I understand that. I get it.
Yeah.
And the fact that I hear from you lately, and no pressure because I don't care, but the fact that I hear from you, like we've been talking, like, talk what, on every week or 2 weeks now, like,
Yeah,
you
more
know,
or
like made it
less.
a
More or
ritual.
less. More or
Like,
less.
I
Yeah.
love that, and that's what I miss
Yeah.
though,
Same,
because
man.
like we used to have that every day, right? We used to talk, but I don't care about that. I don't care. Just hearing, being able to hear from you and being able to connect with you again is important to me.
No,
But
man.
I
I
think
feel the same way. I feel the
the
same
most
way.
important the
Honestly,
most
I really
important
do.
thing for me is though is that I don't really necessarily care about how I feel. Um, I'm more about kind of like and you already know what I'm gonna say, but it's like, I want to know that Cole is doing well, and I know you are. Like, I just want to. Well, in some circumstances, I maybe you're struggling in some areas, and I get that, but I just want you to know that regardless of whatever your circumstances, um, I'm always here for you, man.
Appreciate that.
And
I appreciate that.
and if there is anything going on that has been bothersome or whatever it is, um, I think I can probably provide like decent advice as a brother or as a friend. Yeah.
No,
I just
I
want
mean,
you to.
honestly,
I just want you to know that, like, if there's anything
thanks,
that
man.
happens in your life where you're like, fuck, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, all you gotta do is talk to fucking Clinton, because I guarantee you, I've already been through it. I haven't been through the whole fucking making a lot of money, been successful. I don't get that part of it. I apologize for that, man. I can't relate to that, but I can relate to the fucking typical, like, my girlfriend, my wife, my daughter, my mom, my grandma, my this, my that. Like, I can relate to all that, man. I just, like, I think the most I've ever wanted, I think, from a relationship, especially with a friend, is, like, God, that's just how I feel like about everybody though. Like, I just want to be able to help people. Like, I don't care how fucking miserable my life is, as long as somebody else is fucking happy.
I
Hold
hear
on.
you,
With that
dude.
being said, even though you're supposed to go an hour ago, I gotta pee really fucking bad.
No, this has got to be it, dude. We got to
Okay,
leave it on that note.
I gotta piss.
I'm gonna process that. I love you, man, and thank you. I'm
So
gonna.
bad.
That's your
Well,
that's
okay.
your like that's your William
I'm
Wallace before the battle in
This is
Scotland
my
speech.
William Wallace, bro, because I got to pee so bad that if it was my William Wallace, it would be a lot more involved in that. But I just want to let you know, man, take in whatever I said, whatever,
No,
for a
no,
grain
no.
of
I
salt
got
if
you,
you
man.
want.
No,
It
no, no. I
doesn't matter,
got you,
but
man.
I meant it all. But I got to
I
piss
love
so
you,
fucking
brother.
bad.
Piss,
Wait,
and we talk soon. All right.
I got to pee.
It's
Okay.
4:30. I gotta go to bed.
Yeah, I got to
Here,
pee.
buddy.
Love you.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.